boots, 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 moving up and down again. We saw 28 Years Later.
Yes, we did.
Which was cool. It wasn't the easiest thing logistically to crack down just because of my schedule pretty much, but
I enjoyed it.
I did too.
Not just the movie.
No. The act of doing it.
Of going out and doing something a little bit different. And I guess I kind of missed the drinking light being on because that was...
yeah, so why was I drinking?
It was a rough day.
It was a rough... Oh.
Yeah, 15 or...
Yeah, 12-3, lost 15-12.
Yeah.
Oh, God. I'm going to get that part of my nerd week out. So, by the way, we have Jordan with us today.
Hello.
Chris and Joe are both on assignment. Joe literally was off the 2 days that I worked this week. So my kid got chosen. I'll give him a softball, for this all-star softball tournament league, right? Which is apparently a big fucking deal. I was talking to Plato about it. His boy's involved in it at like a bigger buddy of mine, Plato, that his boy's involved in a bigger level. Like they're getting ready to go to Maine, maybe. Like it's apparently this thing is big, that we signed up for is there's an advantage to losing. But apparently
you don't have to travel.
Yeah. It's apparently a bigger deal than I thought it was. But they finished third, which is good. Make some noise for them. But they should have finished second at least. So they played a team on Saturday, which is when we saw the movie. Sunday, which is when we saw the movie. They played a team on Sunday that they beat on Saturday. They just had to replay them again on Sunday. Mm-hmm. And they smacked them around Saturday. Like, we weren't even really talking about this game because we assumed...
Oh, there's going to be another...
There's going to be a washout. And look, you guys got to focus on this fucking Walkersville crew, though, because these motherfuckers do not fuck around, which is true. But anyway, so we went into... They're time different. So, like, our games are 6 innings, but they're timed like 75 minutes. And then at the top of the 70, and whatever, the umpire has some discretion whether or not to continue an inning or not. Anyway, I say all that to say this. The games were lasting 2 to 3 innings based on them being 75 minutes. And in the top of the third, we're the home team for this particular round. At the top of the third, we go into it winning 12-3. The ump made the decision to play out the inning. We lost 15-12.
Oh, wow. Wow.
So that was a rough one.
Yeah.
That was a real rough one. And it was due to a number of factors. There was some umpire bullshit that happened, but there's also a number of errors that we made, and they played aggressively, and just there was a number of factors that why it happened. But good grief, and a lot of pitching. So anyway, we left there, ended up going to this restaurant in Pasadena. I forget what it's called. It's around the corner from it or whatever. I mean, around the corner is like probably 15 minutes away. But anyway, it was delightful. The seafood was great. I had shrimp tacos and a crab pretzel. You can put it on a pretzel. But it was fucking awesome. And then I had orange crushes while I was there. And then
it's still a win.
Yeah, and they weren't getting them out fast enough to me, so I started ordering 2 at a time. And then we had the movie afterwards, so I showed up a little half-cocked, but good enough. So we saw the movie.
Yeah.
You, me...
Jordan, have you seen 28 Years Later?
No.
Okay.
You, me, Joey, and Laura, which is odd, just because Laura never leaves the house. And Cody, the king of England.
Nice.
So do you care about spoilers?
No, go for it. Go for it.
Okay, so... I initially...
Well, so I think this is the spoiler alert.
Yeah, spoiler alert. Spoiler alert. By the time this comes out, it should, But I initially gave this movie a 4 out of 10 when I walked out. I've upped my score to a 5 out of 10. The reason why is because apparently they've already shot the second part to it. It was 2 movies, and they're split, and the second part comes out 28 weeks later.
Which is kind of cool.
Yeah, and I will say this. Depending on the second one, this movie has potential to move up even further. But as a standalone, I gave it a 5 out of 10. But I also was angry I think as time has gone on, I was so angry at the end that
you're like fuck this, I'm out.
Yeah, as time has gone on, that pain has worn off, and I've rose-colored glasses a bit about it, where I remember the good parts, because there is a significant amount of good parts.
Yeah, but part of the good parts is also part of the bad part.
Yes,
because there's so we talked about it the other day, and to me there's multiple stories happening in this movie, right? So without giving off too many of the details, it's this. So that the UK has been quarantined, which happens in 28 weeks later. So this is years have gone by. So this community that's living in the quarantine zone, there's people that are born that have only lived in this post-quarantine society. So they have their own rituals, they have their own culture, and I when we first started in that world, I was like, this is going to be cool as shit.
Yeah,
right. Dive into this, and then it kind of makes a turn where before they've really explained all of that, now they're on this mission and they're doing this other thing, and then they drop in, some of the people from the outside world to kind of remind you that this is, kind of like a now kind of situation. It's not super post-apocalyptic. It's almost like current day. So there's technology, and there's some decent jokes in there about what's wrong with their lips, and I had a friend that had, when they ate shellfish, that's what happened to their lips. But not really exploring the potential of that community, I think was a negative.
Yeah, and then the second phase of that movie is this but it still ties into it because it's part of the culture. Is there's this rite of passage that they have to leave this stronghold and go and kill a zombie. It seems, and also do some exploration to see if there's anything worthwhile bringing back and all. And that part was cool. And then the movie shifts into the boy who was doing the rite of passage on a mission to save his mom, and that's where the movie takes a turn for me.
Yeah,
where I start to not like it as much.
It's also because it's the mom is suffering from an illness, a chronic illness or something like that, but so she's a liability, and it's a fucking 12-year-old boy
who just had his first encounter,
and now they're just oh, we're gonna go off into the quarantine zone, and it gives me a lot of Last of Us vibes.
Same 100%.
This world will kill you, why are they still alive?
Yeah, and then he's going out to meet this doctor that's living out there, and then that part's a little weird to me. I think that the doctor's a cool character.
Yeah, they could have gone into that a little bit more,
which
would have been fun. But instead, they just kind of rushed through his whole thing and kind of left you going well, I still don't get it.
Right. And then, it turns out that there's nothing that can be done for the mother anyway, so it's kind of a wash to begin with, which I guess is reality, and that's fine.
But it's also an entire hour of story.
Correct.
Nothing.
Correct.
And not the stuff that I kind of wanted. I was well, fuck that mission and give me more of the thing I wanted.
Yeah. And then the end takes a completely odd turn, and this is what dropped it down from a 7, low 7, maybe high 6 movie for me, was he goes out to live in the quarantine zone. He doesn't want to live in the safe zone anymore.
Okay. A 12-year-old.
Yes, or whatever.
Well,
yeah,
now he's 12 and a quarter.
Yeah, now he's 12 and a quarter. And he's caught a fish, and he's cooking himself a little piece of fish. And he is chased down by a group of zombies. Runs into basically a dead end. The zombies have him, dead to rights. And then all of a sudden, the zombies are attacked out of nowhere by a group of young people wearing Adidas-style tracksuits in various different colors, reminiscent of Power Rangers or Teletubbies or...
Very what
perhaps a Ninja Turtles reimagined. Ninja Turtles had the mutagen turn them just to humans.
Maybe they're British turtles.
and they start doing karate on the zombies.
Wow.
And like very over the top.
Yes, like Crouching Tiger, almost Hidden Dragon level of zombie fighting, and then you come to realize, or Cody educated us, that the leader of this crew is named Jimmy, and that they are modeled after this character that I wasn't familiar with, who did children's television in the UK, named Jimmy Savile or Jimmy Savile, who was ended up being a bit of a pedophile.
I think is more than a bit.
Full blown.
Yeah, like a prolific pedophile.
Capital P pedophile. Like, we're not talking about Drake here.
Or as Cody said, pedo. He's a pedo.
Yeah. So that all seems strange. And it's one of those things where it's like, if they make it make sense to me in the next one, and that story with that boy ends up becoming somewhat believable, then maybe the rising tide will lift all ships. But
I mean,
as it stands, and I don't know, because the reaction has been so poor to it. I was talking to, I think it was Esteban, but he made a good point. He's like, look, this is fucking, Warner Brothers has a tendency to tank things that don't succeed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I have a feeling that the second movie is going to be, what's the type of, like, a grindhouse? Is that the type? Where it's like over the top,
right?
Can't be almost like pulp.
Yeah. So because that's the way that scene felt.
100%.
So I hope, like, I will not enjoy it if it's that.
It seems like a drastic tonal shift.
Yeah. And it's literally like the last 90 seconds.
Wow.
Yeah. So and this is like obviously the third movie of this that has had a very, I think, homogenous tone.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Right. So to have that like gear shift into that, like, I'm like, well, be careful, because you're gonna fuck up the whole goddamn group of movies.
Right.
Yeah. I have two more questions about it. One, when they went out into the mainland for the first time, that's where they introduced that boots, that whole bit. And they intercut it with all this like World War II footage and Vietnam footage and all this. What was your takeaway from that? You usually have a bit of a hot take on that sort of thing.
So that's a poem
that Rudyard Kipling read.
Yeah. That it's about, like, I think it's about the military industrial complex, right? But then the tie to, I think we talked about it before. They use it. The U.S. military uses it in SEER school.
Correct, as like torture.
Yeah, as a form of torture, because they lock you in a box
for a week,
allegedly.
Right.
Where
you can't lay down. Yeah,
I wasn't in SEER school, but I know people that were, and they didn't tell me this, so they can violate their NDAs. But you like get locked in a box, and it's simulated torture, like if you were to be caught by the enemy, and that's one of the things that they do is to keep you awake. They play that on repeat.
For a week, I've read. Like a week,
just at night.
Oh, okay.
Just to keep you from sleeping, because it's like it's not a rhythmic kind of thing. It's kind of like all over the place the way it was read, and so it fucks with people pretty good.
Fun fact, as a Nine Inch Nails fan, the song "Somewhat Damaged" by Nine Inch Nails was used in keeping people up in Guantanamo Bay.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah. And he found out about it and was pretty pissed, because he was like, you're kind of missing the point of the whole band in a lot of ways here. But it is an interesting song. It's a very aggressive song.
Yeah, so I mean, like, them using World War II footage and everything, like, that makes sense, because that's what it's about, right? Mm-hmm. So,
but how does that relate to the zombie stuff?
I
couldn't put it together.
I think it's just like it sounds sinister.
I was thinking maybe like our innate like want or drive to destroy ourselves in some way, like like I'm trying to see the vision,
or maybe it's the zombies, right? Because
they weren't wearing boots.
No. Well, some of them might have been. They didn't tie them though. Like, they say, it's been said in Independence Day that the human race is the virus of Earth, so it could be
right. Then I had a weird. I was like, so we got home after the movie, and Laura fucked my brains out, and I was like, I wonder why that happened. I'm kidding. So there's this huge monster zombie dick in a fair bit of the movie.
Oh yeah, like an aggressive amount of
Zombie
large
dick.
zombie dick.
Uncircumcised be.
You would have thought that one of the other zombies would have taken that as a snack or something. Fuck.
Yeah.
Eating the little worms out of the ground. Instead, there's
A jackpot.
fucking kielbasa over there.
Yeah, it was impressive. It was impressive. In some ways, I was mesmerized by it, like a pendulum.
Well, a lot of zombie tits.
Yep. Fair amount of zombie.
Not as impressive as the zombie dick.
Not at all.
You know,
Not at all.
So this franchise is where kind of the concept of like running zombies was introduced, right? 20 weeks later, they still run in this movie.
So they have different
do.
types.
They do. Yes.
So they have these like fat slug like ones that just crawl around and eat the worms and everything. That are like reminiscent of pigs. Like they squeal when they get shot, shot with an arrow.
Yeah.
And then they have the
Alpha, which was the one with the big.
So they have the running zombies,
uncircumcised.
and then they have the alphas, which are like, almost what's the Aquaman's name?
Jason Momoa.
Jason Momoa style, like huge.
Mm-hmm.
No, like 9 feet tall. With the dick to match.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yes, they are like they have evolved to this like high, like they're 9-10 feet tall, wide as a house.
Right.
Like they're the final boss of the level. That you're playing in the video game.
And they say like that they are smarter. They plan things. And I was hoping that the baby they were going to go into like they turn into the alphas.
Oh yeah, that would have been cool.
But they just kind of left.
They left that going.
Left that wide open. So hopefully they address it in the next one because that'd be interesting to me.
Yeah.
And what do they call those? Do they call them zombies?
I think they just call them infected or something like.
So they call them the big ones.
They call alpha, and then there's like the runners, and then there's they have like tiers of their because they've gone on right and found ways, and I guess like. Some of them are like dreadfully thin because they've eaten most of the population. So like, I think some of them are really struggling. Some of them are very much weaker. I think a lot of them are weaker. But then there are these others that have like reverted to like just eating anything, including the worms out of the ground. And that's why they've become, so kind of gluttonous, and then there's like these alphas, which are a serious problem.
Yeah.
For women zombies and for and for mankind.
Yeah.
Plus, I mean, you don't want to die with some bitch comparing and contrasting in those last moments,
The worst.
And plus I'm stressed, so it's kind of tucking in a bit, But
all that running.
Yeah, all that running, But yeah, Laura thought it was fine. She probably gave it a 7. I have audio of. But I gotta listen to it because I was under in my mind's eye. I was actually like, I forgot that the second one was completely disconnected from the first one. Like,
like not the same characters.
Yeah. I'd completely forgotten about that. I haven't seen the second one since it was in the movies. So, I think that tainted my initial thought too. Was like, why are we like completely divergent? But there's so many zombie movies that I've seen since then that they all kind of like. Run together, you know what I mean? But yeah, I think once again, it was not good, but it has the potential to be fine, if not better, depending on where they take it, if they take it anywhere.
I agree.
Yeah. So Jordan, you are our guest. Right. What's new in your world?
Well, okay, let's see. So I went back for my 3-month check after my vasectomy, and so far. Unsuccessful.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, you can always try again.
What a kick in the nuts! Am I right?
Oh my God! Yeah. So we'll see. I got another 3 months of blowing things out, and then we'll see what happens. But
what a fucking blower!
Yeah, I know.
What a load!
Yeah, I was pretty disappointed. But.
That sucks,
we'll
dude.
Luckily, my wife still has her IUD in, and so there's no real too much of a risk of anything happening. But yeah, the idea of having to go through that again, I was just like, oh, man,
yeah, how unpleasant.
like, not that it was the worst thing I've ever had to do, but
Certainly wasn't the best though. I imagine.
right. So yeah, that was disheartening, but it is what it is. So, not a whole lot going on, you know. Kids obviously out of school, and just, you know, I'm working and traveling and doing stuff. But,
Yeah.
we've had some fun homeowner things go on. Had to buy a new refrigerator.
That's always fun.
That was fun. Yeah, very exciting, and it
Does it
got
have Bluetooth?
cheap, which is always nice.
Bluetooth and Wi-Fi.
Hell yeah.
No screen or anything, but you know, it is a very nice refrigerator. And
It shit pisses me off.
you can look inside of it. It's got a clear glass door. That's fun. So you can see what's in there. You can tap on the glass and it lights up.
Oh, really?
Kind of neat.
But is it always look see-through?
Yeah, it's always see-through, but they're
I couldn't-
dark. So now you know when you close the doors, the light dims down.
Yeah, but I couldn't handle that.
Yeah, well,
I couldn't handle like being able to see into it all the time.
Oh.
Like, cause then I would have to have it neat.
Organized.
Yeah. Like, and sometimes my fridge, especially like, you know, it's one of those things where it's like on grocery day, my fridge looks like a fucking wreck. And then the day before grocery day, it looks great.
Right.
You know?
Now, it would be cool if Amazon started making refrigerators where if you bought Amazon products, like they had a barcode that you could scan and then you could reorder it.
I think there are refrigerators that will do that.
Yeah, you might be right about
Like the ones with the computer screen.
Yeah.
It's supposed to keep track of all the things.
I mean, that.
and then you can just be like, reorder.
I mean, I can see that how that'd be, you know,
But
Wi-Fi, Bluetooth.
sync my contacts.
yeah, right. Yeah.
Hey, fridge, call grandma.
Yeah, no, we didn't want anything that wazoo. Our big thing was, one, the old refrigerator was starting to fail. So it was nice to replace it. But the filtered water on the old refrigerator was inside the refrigerator. So anytime you wanted to get water, you had to open the refrigerator and stand there and fill your receptacle, and that sucked.
Yeah.
It drove my wife crazy. So yeah, now we have ice and water on the outside. So we're really living the dream.
What do you think people in like the 1800s would think if like they heard?
Us bitch about.
Yeah, like, you know what really drives me crazy is I have to open my magic cooling box to get fresh, clean, cold water out of it as they're like,
Right. I think they'd be so
like moving the mud off, like to the side to get the non-kill you water.
There's a word that comes to mind that I think that they would want to call us.
Yeah. So then also during that same time frame, we also had to buy a new HVAC system for the house.
Ugh.
So
We've dodged it one more year.
Now that you don't have to open the door to get water, the house is not as cool.
that's true. And so the HVAC had to work just that much harder,
And that was too much.
and it couldn't handle it.
It was we've like slipped under the radar one more time this year. Ours failed. Our upstairs failed while my niece was here, and then her family, well, you know, my family. But we called the refrigerator guy out, and like, because the AC guy out, and he's been out like 3 or 4 years in a row, and he keeps telling us like, start saving, like it's coming. And then he went into the attic because he keeps filling it with the coolant or whatever, and he was up in the attic this time, and he's like, and we were like, oh, no whammy, and he's like, hold on.
I got a piece of bubble gum to come.
And then he did something, and then he was like, let's wait for 10 minutes. And then sure enough, it kicked back on, and we were like, yes!
One more year.
I was like, and then he like left, and I was like, see ya, I'm not saving.
Yeah, it's no small endeavor.
No, I know. Sure. I know. I remember Brian Brink when his failed, like he was talking about, I think on a pod or something, and like I think he wanted to say like $12,000 or some shit.
I wish
that it cost him.
Ours was $20,000. Yeah,
You could drive that.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's more than my car cost. So
Crazy.
Wow.
But hey, you know, it's fine. I've been debt free for a long time, so it's good. It's
Now you're
good
back
to
into it?
be a real American again and contribute.
I try to get out.
Yep.
They pull me back in.
Is it kind of like so I knew a guy that every time he needed to replace the tires on his car, he would just trade it in
Oh God.
because he's like, They come with new tires.
Wow.
It's just easy.
Wow.
Like when tires became like $800 for like legitimate tires, he'd be like, nah.
I knew a guy that would
You
get
just sell your house. Like HVAC needs.
Right. Yep.
We're out of here. Pack the bags up, honey.
I knew a guy that would get a flat tire and then help himself to your tire, but he didn't really understand mechanics at all. So he thought they all were just one size fits all. So he had a whole kitchen full of tires that didn't fit, and the whole city had cars with missing one tire. And I won't say who that is, but shout out to Dante on Facebook.
Did he notice that like some have the 6-bolt and some have the 7 lug?
Not at first.
Perfect.
Yep.
That's funny.
It's a true story. He and actually I remember like there's a story. I don't. I think I've told this on here before, but I don't think you guys have heard it. So it'll be new to you and hopefully some of our listeners. It's one thing that's interesting about repeating stories is like you in your mind you're like, so I started Nerd Rage episode 1. And everybody started listening, and they've been listening religiously ever since. That's not really how it happens.
People come and go.
They come and go, whatever. They come back, they take a break, whatever. They miss a few episodes, say, fuck the episodes I missed, I'll just start from here. Like, so sometimes it's worthwhile repeating a story.
And if they're new, I don't know who's got the time.
Every now and then we'll get complete lunatics that
I
are
thought
like,
Clone Wars was an undertaking, but
they'll be like, hey, I just found it. I'm starting at 1.
yeah,
I'm like,
1,100 hours of Nerd Rage.
We didn't even figure out the audio till like episode 15 or something. It's like it just sounds like shit. Sounds like somebody left their
Hey,
yeah.
can you hear me?
Sounds like somebody called you and then like left their phone somewhere else, and then you're just listening to a conversation in the room they thought they got off the phone. But so anyway, it was the day that Pulp Fiction came out on VHS.
Okay.
And ironically, speaking of Nerd Rage history, Adam had seen it, I think. Maybe not. But we went to the video store and rented it. Came back to my house, and I had called my buddy Rio, who passed away in 2010, and I said he had definitely seen the theater and loved it. Loved every second of it, thought it was brilliant, blah, blah, blah. So I was like, hey, man, I've got fucking Pulp Fiction on VHS. Do you want to see it? And he's like, dude, I would love to, but I'm going out tonight. We're linking up with these girls. But enjoy. So Adam and I were chilling anyway, doing shit, probably bullshitting, whatever, blah, blah, blah. A couple hours goes by. I get a phone call from Rio who says, hey, started watching yet? And I said, nope. He said, bring it through. So I brought it through. So then I got to realize what happened, why he is not with these girls. So my buddy, who I just talked about in a recent sit-down Saturday, Tony and this guy, Nick, Nick had lined up these girls. That's how it was described, girls. And it was accurate because there was 2. But he'd never specified that. But Nick and Tony didn't drive, but Rio did. Rio drove this Lincoln Continental land boat at the time. So they linked up with him. Nick snuck out of his house, took a bus to get over to us. Tony lived in my neighborhood. Him and Tony went to Rio's house. They drove to this girl's house. So they get out there, and Nick gets out the car and goes up to make sure it's still good at this girl's house. He comes back, and he's like, it's good. Tony, we're good. And Rio said, what do you mean, Tony, we're good? And it's like, oh man, there's only two there, and like I know one and Tony knows one. And he's like, all right, well look, hop in with me. I'm gonna go pick up some liquor or stuff, and then you guys can have a good night, And Nick was like, cool. So Nick was not from our neighborhood, and doesn't matter, but he had a very sketchy reputation. And he got in the car, and Rio drove home.
Hell yeah.
So now Rio is at his house with Nick, who snuck out and is supposed to be getting a ride home somehow, and Tony, and then Brutus is there. I think Dante's there. And now Adam and I are en route with Pulp Fiction on VHS. And it's raining. That's another key factor. And Rio's pissed.
Yeah.
When I get into the house, he's obviously upset. And I'm trying to figure out why. So he has to tell the story that I just told you. And as he's telling it, he's getting angrier. So by the end of
he's
telling
not over it yet.
At the end of telling it, he's like, you know what? I don't even want to fucking look at you. You go stand on that porch while I watch this movie. And maybe if you're still there when I'm done, I'll drive you home. Maybe. So Nick goes out, stands on the front porch. It's raining. It's fucking balls off. Now there is this little awning that sits over top of the front porch. So he's tucked underneath that. And we watch Pulp Fiction. And then we turn it off and I'm like, dude, like, you know, I'm like standing ovation. Like I've never seen anything like this, you know, like I want to talk about it. I want to dig into the minutia. And he's like, well, he's
see
like,
this watch?
exactly. So Rio's like, well, it really takes two watches to get it. And I'm like, yeah, I definitely got to see it again to like put the pieces together. He's like, run it back. So we run it back. Now Tony's like, hey man, like, cause he's linked up with Nick, right? So he's like, hey man, come on. Like the dude's standing outside. Like he said he was going to drive him home. He's like, I said I might drive him home
when I'm done with the movie.
And then he's like, man, he's probably left by now. And Rio was like, that motherfucker. And he walks over to the door. He doesn't look out the door, but he walks over to the door and opens it and says, that motherfucker ain't going nowhere. Sure enough, he had not. He was standing out there on the porch, closed the door, and we watched it again.
Wow.
Now, halfway through this, Tony starts feeling really bad. Right. So he's like, hey, you know, it's cold. Like, you know, like, and it's fucking raining. And Brutus gets up. He's like, you're right. And he grabs this like little ass, like fucking like windbreaker, opens the door, throws it at Nick, closes the door again. Nick's still standing outside. We watch it a second time. So then he says, invite him in. So now Nick comes in after the movie's been watched a second time. He says, hey, man, I'm really tired now. So I don't know what to tell you. You're going to have to figure out a way home. And Nick is like, what? And then it turns into this whole thing where like people start saying like, well, what if you could, you know, steal a bike? You know, and this dude lived on the whole other side of where we were from. Like, he was like, and he was like, well, you know, whatever. The people are like, well, there's rollerblades. I saw somebody's rollerblades just sitting outside on the front porch. You could take them, you know. And then before you know it, this is how I got to this story in the first place. Rio comes out with one of Dante's allegedly spare tires that's been sitting in the kitchen the whole time. He's like, look, just sit on this. Get yourself a stick. Now it's going to be tough going uphill, but going downhill, just see if you can kind of like jump and get the. Anyway, it ended with Nick, Tony, myself, and Adam walking back to our neighborhood, and then Nick had to call his mom, confess his sins, and she had to come pick him up. That's how it ended.
Wow! So he went through all that just to get the punishment in the end.
Yep. Tragedy.
Accountability.
Yep. It's a motherfucker. It's a motherfucker.
Let's see what else. The wife and I have been watching some show called Murderbot. I don't know. It's on Apple. It's based on some books. She's very much into it.
Okay.
It's fine.
Is it?
It's fine.
It's okay. Doesn't sound fine.
Yeah, it's fine.
Sounds like it's better than Clone Wars.
You just had to get into it.
Yeah, Clone Wars is going to get real good.
People keep saying that.
Yep. It's a real slow burn.
Like, you could always skip to like the end. Like,
I'm already doing the skip thing. I'm doing these are the ones you have to watch.
Abridged.
Oh wow, okay. Saw the movie Sinners. That's
a vampire one.
Yeah.
Okay, I just had a conversation with Eric B about that briefly yesterday. I haven't seen it. What was your thoughts?
It was okay. I think the theater. I was over in Bahrain when I saw it, and we watched it on the.
I'll give you one.
Yeah, but we watched it on base, and it was. I don't know. The projector was crooked and like not quite in focus. So colors weren't very good. But,
bootleg.
Yeah, that's kind of the vibes of it. But it was okay. It was okay. I'm gonna rewatch it at home.
I used to pay $5 for bootleg DVDs overseas.
Yeah.
So
that was okay. And then yesterday, my son and I went and saw the new Jurassic World movie, and that's not good.
Yeah, I believe that.
I'm shocked to hear it's making all the money and
dinosaurs. People love dinosaurs.
Guess, my 9-year-old son is right in the pocket of that, and we walked out, and I said, "What'd you think of that?" And he was like, "That wasn't very good."
So it's funny.
Yeah.
In 2006, I started kind of like toying with the idea of making content, but like doing like sketch comedy stuff and things like that. And I was transitioning out of music and into something else. And we did a bunch of little shorts, so to speak, like Adam and I, and our company was called A Fifth in a Bag. That's usually how most nights started, and then in parentheses of Hot Chips, which was like a disclaimer. But
back when the government still cared about that.
yeah. And we did one on Jurassic Park, but at that time there was only like 3 movies out, and this was Jurassic Park 4, and it was a movie trailer. And like my brothers, I have no idea where it is. I'm like still searching for it in my house somewhere. Like my brother's in it, Laura's brother's in it, and it's like the whole thing was that they had crossed dinosaur and human DNA to make a human
dino DNA.
Correct, to make a humasaur.
Yeah.
But all it ends up being is just a human that walks around like a dinosaur. And like, but they're like kind of smarter because they're like just humans and like curled up like dinosaurs.
A velociraptor.
Yeah, velociraptor. But anyway, it was funny as shit. But it almost parallels where the movies went in some way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the whole point of this movie. This is the cast off island of all the things that they cross gene bred or whatever that are too ugly or too scary, so they put them all on this other island, and
life finds a way.
Life finds a way.
Yeah. It was. I fell asleep.
Did you?
So yeah, I missed like the whole climax of the movie. That's okay.
Couldn't have been that good of a climax.
Yeah.
It was fine. I was all right with that.
Yeah.
So, watch that new animated Predators movie.
How was that?
Killer Killers.
Killer? Okay. It's called Killer Killers?
Killer of Killers.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's a bit better.
Yeah. It's okay. Yeah, it's fine. It's I think the whole point of it's establishing that the Predators are not only this advanced race that can travel through space, but they can also travel through time, apparently. Mm-hmm. And they are collecting people to bring back to the planet. So, like, if somebody defeats a Predator, then that person gets collected, and they bring them back to the home world, where then they have to survive.
Yeah, we talked a bit about this on an episode because Joey watched it, and, like, he brought up a good point that one of our listeners I guess kind of co-signed in a way, but like it kind of makes them less honorable in a way.
A little bit, yeah.
Because like you're just, once they pick you to fight, you fight till you die.
Right.
So there's no like, you got us.
Yep.
Fair enough. Salute to you, soldier.
Right.
Like
it's just a test then to bring you back to ultimately watch you die.
Yeah. It makes it dumber.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Yeah.
So like, yeah, but I mean, in terms of just like an animated thing, like it was cool. Right. I let my son watch it, and he enjoyed it. So,
nice.
I mean, that's whatever. And then other than that, it's just been showing movies to the kids.
Oh yeah, what are you showing?
We watched The Burbs, a Tom Hanks movie.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, that's a fun movie. They enjoyed that.
That movie's a side note, as I always try to do. That movie's, I think, if memory serves, is in True Romance.
Okay,
it's the movie that Brad Pitt is watching while stoned out of his mind, while the mafia goes to like figure out where the people are that stole the cocaine. And they're like, is it like, I'm looking for Clarence running around here with a pretty girl. You seen him? Yeah, man. Yeah, they were here. And then they said they were going to go somewhere else. And then they left. Where is he? Beverly Ambassador. How do you know that? Did they tell you that? Yeah. Where is it? Well, you go out here, you make a right. It's so good, man. And I think the movie that he's watching while that is The Burbs, if memory serves.
Nice.
But yeah, I remember that elementary school for me.
Yeah.
I remember seeing it at like a sleepover.
Yeah, I remember loving it when I was a kid. Like we had it, I had recorded or something off pay-per-view, and you could still do that. And
those are the times.
Yeah, and watching that movie a lot. But yeah, so they enjoyed it. Then we've been watching a lot of space movies.
Oh yeah,
yeah. Like I showed the kids The Martian. And
that
Matt Damon movie. And they liked that, captured their imagination.
Nice.
And, so that was cool. And then we watched First Man, the one with Ryan Gosling, about the Apollo 12 moon landing and all that stuff. And
I don't know if I've seen
that whole program up.
Ryan Gosling, I think it's Ryan Gosling, is in one of my favorite movies of all time that is a super sleeper called Stay. Strong recommend from me. One of those like, oh shit, this movie's much better than I thought it was.
Oh,
you know?
Look into it.
Yeah.
Stay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and then we watched Apollo 13. So,
you know what? Never seen it.
Oh, it's so good.
Yeah, but yeah, so good.
Yeah.
So
more Tom Hanks, you know. So
there's this like I've talked about this before, but there's this handful of movies that like just slip through my fingers that are like huge movies that like I've made an effort to go back and see, but I just haven't saw. Like I in the past 5 years, I saw Back to the Future 3 for the first time. I saw The Abyss for the first time.
Yeah, that's pretty okay.
I saw Indiana Jones: The Last Crusade for the first time.
Oh wow, you hadn't seen that?
Had never seen it.
So that's
just
a good one.
Just slipped
that's
through
the last good one.
Yeah. That's what I hear. I still haven't seen the most recent one, but like
You don't have to.
Yeah, I'm sure. And I never saw fucking
Apollo 13.
Apollo 13.
Well, nor the
Worth watching.
extended cut of Aliens.
Or the extended cut of Aliens.
Okay. Yeah. And then we watched Gravity. So kind of intermixed, made up stories
Oh,
with some real
Sandy.
stories.
I
But
love a good
Gravity's
Sandy
a great
movie.
movie.
I have seen that one.
Yeah. So and I think next we'll probably watch something like Ad Astra or something. I don't know.
That's cool. I want to watch
yeah.
Fight Club with Jana. That's my next one to watch with her.
It's a great one.
Yeah.
So and then King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard,
Which you love.
has a new album.
You're a
out.
huge fan.
I'm a big fan. They're great.
They were brought up on something that I was listening to recently. I think it was like people were talking about like their top 5 modern rock bands, and somebody mentioned them.
Yeah, they're good.
Yeah.
They're all over the place with the styles of music that they do. So I mean, you can kind of pick and choose. If you like heavier stuff, they've got lots of that, and whatever.
Yeah.
So I mean, they try all kinds of different stuff, and they put a lot of albums out.
I think it's interesting that you are like a pretty seemingly straight-laced person. You keep time for a living and those sorts of things, and then like you have the most bizarre music interests that I've.
I like to, I like to find new stuff when I can. It's hard. I have to make a concerted effort to sit down and say, I'm going to find something new.
Yeah.
And try a lot of stuff. But I stumble across some.
I love that about you
every now and again, which is fun. And then the only other music related thing I have is Slash from Guns N' Roses. He has a new album out called Orgy of the Damned, and it's pretty good. It's he brings on a bunch of guest vocalists and they do songs, and this album is like a bunch of old blues songs.
Hell of a guitar player.
Yeah, he's great. It's pretty fun. It's a good album.
Yeah, I did a Bobby Boogie Bop on Guns N' Roses, of course, which is one of my favorite ones that I've done. But that was an interesting one for me to do because I had never listened to Chinese Democracy. Like I just I was kind of mad at the whole thing and how it went. So I was just like, man, fuck this, and I ended up loving it. I love that fucking album.
I don't love that album.
I thought I wouldn't.
I have tried multiple times to listen to that album, and I don't know.
Yeah, I'm a fan.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Music, right?
Yeah. Well, I like so I think, and to me, Guns N' Roses, you need Axl and you need Slash. You need them together to really be Guns N' Roses.
Yes.
Yeah, you need the guns and
the Roses.
Yeah.
But I think this is a hot take and not a popular one, and I'm okay with it. I'm just telling you how I feel. I think that Axl, love him or hate him, that to me is totally fair. is a man with a vision.
Yes.
And he, in my opinion, does better when he has the opportunity to fulfill that vision uninterrupted. So when I think that's ultimately what Chinese Democracy was, which, pass or fail is how you feel about it. But like, like if you look at like Paradise City is great, right? Like, and all this stuff is great, but Appetite, I think, is the best rock album of the 80s. I can make an argument it's the only rock and roll album of the 80s, but when you compare what the vision is to like something like November Rain versus Paradise, that to me is the proof in the pudding. Anyway.
The whole Chinese Democracy era of Guns N' Roses was just so weird because the group of people they put together was
Buckethead.
Buckethead.
Yeah.
So I remember seeing him at the 930 Club. He was an opening band.
Dude, shout out to the 930 Club.
I love that place. He was an opening act for Primus. It was like
you just never knew. It'd be like Primus one night, Little Kim the next.
Yeah. So it was like Incubus and Buckethead and Primus.
Yeah,
and it was a great show.
Yeah,
it was Incubus before they were popular, and like I didn't even know who they were. But man, they ripped it up.
Yeah.
So it was a good show.
Yeah, good. Anything else?
I don't think so.
All right.
No.
All right.
No.
Fair enough. Farrell?
I had a pretty light nerd week.
We saw 28 years later.
28 years later. And then, I watched 6 hours of DC movies.
Which ended up being 2 films.
Man.
2 films.
Oh, you're the marathon man.
And I watched them with you.
Yeah. It was a long day.
Yeah.
We started with Wonder Woman.
Yep.
Okay.
Which was pretty good.
Pretty good.
Really enjoyed it. And then we went into the Justice League.
Snyder Cut.
The Snyder Cut.
Okay.
Which was fantastic.
Yes. Yep. That is an example of a movie that improved so like I can't think of another movie that improved so much by seeing the director's
vision
cut or whatever.
So the next day, yesterday, I started watching the original.
Oh,
the Justice League.
The Justice League.
Okay. That's a good thing to do. So you can compare and contrast.
Yeah.
That's good.
So I'm only halfway through it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it is amazing how different the same ish movie can be.
Yep.
Right.
And I think that. So I've been thinking about it quite a bit last night and this morning because I've had quite an early morning today. So the Justice League, as it's referred to in this room and others, is rushing to get to the parts of the plot without expanding on any character. So I had some questions, right? So
so many questions.
The Aquaman movie comes out after this, right?
Correct. He says in the Snyder Cut, which is the full vision, that I'm going to go see my father.
Yeah. So for the, I don't know, like average person, the person who's been exposed to most of these characters with any real substance, not a comic book reader, that's the only bit of information they have is from, say, these movies, right? So when I went back and watched the Justice League, it's amazing to me. It's a tragedy to me that they put that out because none of the characters are developed
at all.
Right.
At all. And the major complaint, especially it came out during the height of the Marvel takeover, the major complaint was like, this is why you can't do the big team movie in 2 years or whatever.
Right.
Like you didn't invest, you didn't lay enough brickwork to build this house on.
So if they were gonna do it that way, then all of the other characters' origin stories and everything like that those movies had to be made first, released first, because like so when they're dealing with and I'm sorry, Flash's real name is
Barry Allen.
Barry Allen. So when they cut to him seeing his father in prison, that scene in the Justice League is 2 minutes, and in the Snyder cut, it's 12.
Multiple sequences,
Right. So the stuff they cut out, as I'm watching the Justice League the next day, I'm like, why the fuck would we care about this guy?
Right.
Like, there's nothing, like, he's fast.
Right.
And his dad's in prison. That's it.
Yep.
That's the whole buildup of that character.
Yep.
And it's crazy. Aquaman the same way. The stuff that they cut out of that, and even the part where he goes back to Atlantis and he's talking there, they cut every bit of it out of that, where it shows that he's
The reluctant king and
everything. It's just, he's like, okay, we'll see what we can do.
Yep. We'll see what we can do.
Like that's it. That's the whole buildup that this fucking character gets.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, really, really bad.
Really bad.
And then having Steppenwolf as the prime villain with no even reference to Darkseid or any of that stuff in the theatrical cut. It's insane.
So the part, and I say halfway through, but I don't actually know. So they had just gone to rescue Victor's father. Right. So they're underneath Gotham Bay.
Right.
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 So that's the first time that they've actually encountered Steppenwolf. And he's weak. He's weak as shit in that movie. Right?
I haven't seen it in so long. You have to refresh my memory.
So Victor's, hand plasma gun, whatever the fuck that is.
Yeah.
Like, it wounds him immediately. Right? So Wonder Woman is knocking him around. He's like, if you're not going to have Darkseid in it, and Steppenwolf is the big bad guy, like, why are they struggling to defeat him?
Right.
Right? There's 4 of them.
Yeah.
Right.
So in the Snyder Cut, they were struggling against him, right? Which makes sense as to why they have to bring Superman back.
Yeah.
Because they can't,
And
they
then
can't even wound him.
watching that again, just recently with you, it is like in your mind's eye, you forget like the nuance to it. But like when Superman comes back, like Superman makes short work of him.
Right.
Like, Steppenwolf is out of his league. When that like those little lines, like, like this world will fall. Like there's no protectors, no Kryptonian, no lanterns. Like, like it's like he's already sized it up. Like he knows he has it in the bag,
But in the Justice League, even Batman gets a couple of hits in on him. And he's just rich. Like, what the fuck are we doing? Like, let Superman be dead.
Yeah.
If you guys can.
There's another thing that I love about the Snyder Cut is that final battle. Like everybody plays their role. Like you need Flash for the energy. You need Batman for the plan. You need Victor to talk to the fucking Unity. You need Aquaman and Wonder Woman to do the fighting.
Right.
Like, everybody has a role, that's something that I don't even think Marvel does in their Avengers well. It usually just ends up being the Avengers fight the guy.
Yeah.
But that's the whole point of it, right? Is that, if you want to like extrapolate, to the human condition and everything, that's the whole point, is that like individually you may have, certain abilities and you might be good at this thing and that thing, but in order to make the whole thing work, you need everybody.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
Right? Like that's the underlying story.
Yep.
Or the theme.
Yep.
And the fact that they put this horseshit movie out that just tramples all over it.
Yeah. I also love that Steppenwolf like clearly defines like the Amazons, the Atlanteans, even people like Flash or whatever are defenders. and every planet has them.
Right.
Kryptonians and Lanterns are protectors, and they're in a different class for him, and I love that. And like watching it again, seeing all the stuff that they were like laying foundation for to play out with like the Atom is the tech, like the lab tech for Victor's father, and like just like so much, obviously John Jones or the Martian Manhunter being a part of it from the beginning,
right.
and Ferris working in the military as well the whole time, and like to become Star Sapphire, and like it's just all the stuff that like it's like it's the gift and the curse, because it is so that those 4 movies together are so fucking good. But there's always that like, man, what did we miss?
And that's what we were talking about the other night.
Yeah,
it was like it was so good that I kind of wish I hadn't seen it because I know that it's
incomplete.
It's incomplete, and it's not going to be completed.
Correct.
Well, it's not going to be completed the way it should have been completed.
Yeah.
Somebody may come around and be able to write close enough and direct close enough that we might get the full.
But even the actors are like aging. Like there is a clock on all that shit.
Well, yeah, but they don't have to be the same actors. And AI's getting pretty good.
Yeah, that's fair. Prophet of the faceless, as they say on their rage.
But yeah, but it's that good that I'm like, if we could go back, a month where I just don't know that it's,
and to see like from a comic book nerd perspective, like for me, Justice versus Justice, like seeing Darkseid and seeing Desaad and seeing like that, there's I don't know if you noticed, but there's like obviously they're like alien looking, right? But then there's like this white woman that's there.
Yeah.
So that's Granny Goodness, like, and she's a whole character in and of herself also, and like, and she's there. Like she doesn't get to say anything. You don't get to see her do anything, but like they know who she is, and she's fucking there.
Yeah.
I mean, and there's so many other things that had it not stopped, there's plenty more content to go through.
Yeah.
So I had a question about the Kryptonians, though. So, in Superman, in the first one, Man of Steel, did they know that if they got to a yellow sun that they would develop powers?
So Russell does. His father does. The lead scientist, because the Laura says like like something like they'll kill him,
right?
And he says how. Right. He'll be a god to them.
He'll be a god to them.
Because I'm thinking like if Kryptonians are defenders, only
protectors
are only that if there's a yellow sun.
Right. But I guess that's a fair point.
Look at me flexing the nerd.
Yeah. So but I wonder if like, I mean, this is super valid point, but I think that like I can do enough mental gymnastics to explain it if I had to, but
and I don't know how like base level Kryptonians would fare against humans even without the yellow sun.
Yeah, like a red sun, like if they were
like an Amazonian.
Right.
That they're just
they're just
stronger.
They're better, like genetically superior. And like the other thing that I want to like that Superman, Superman lands on Earth, but there's like another Kryptonian ship that has been there that obviously is from the House of El, because that's where he gets all the suits and shit from. Yep. But there's one like, and you see in Justice League, there's many L's that went to that planet, and most of them are dead. Well, but there's one that's open.
Yeah,
and that's Supergirl. And like it's like it gives me a chill. There was just every little nook and cranny was accounted for.
Well, I always assumed
for aggressive expansion.
With, the ship being there was an indication that the Amazons and the Atlanteans are some sort of offshoot of Kryptonians. Is that not? Not the case.
I got the impression that they're just different species, like that it's the equivalent of like elves and dwarves and man in Middle Earth. That there's Atlanteans, Amazonians, and man on our Earth. We just don't know of these others because one is lives in a Bermuda Triangle and the other one is under the sea. Under the sea.
Yeah, I thought the Bermuda Triangle thing. Like I would I would have really liked if they would have been like, this is the Bermuda Triangle.
Yeah. That would have been cool. That would have been cool.
And like you see like Amelia Earhart's fucking plane.
And they would have been happy with her because they're pretty sexist.
Yeah, but I mean, like, so she's a human, so she would have died.
Yeah.
And they could have been like, like, here's one of your people, Amelia.
A true credit to your people, an explorer. And, like,
and that would have been like, whoa, that's fucking awesome.
Yeah. I love whenever, like, these geeky properties take real world events and explain them through the lore of, like, I always took Transformers that way, to be fair. Like, in like the cartoon lore is that like the ships that are leaving Cybertron, where they're from, that one of them crashes into a volcano, and that causes like the eruption of the volcano. But like in my head, like that caused like the end of the dinosaurs, like that. Like when I was,
it wasn't a comet.
Yeah, it was their ship.
Yeah, it was.
That'd be cool.
You know what I mean? Just little stuff like that. I love when they do shit like that. Like this is why this is because of this event. It's like,
and Gal Gadot's so fucking hot.
Yeah, is she?
God damn.
Is she?
I had to back up a couple of times.
A true.
I think I saw an ass cheek there.
A true goddess.
Oh my God. She's my Wonder Woman.
Yeah. Possibly the fairest of them all.
Yeah, I would say.
Definitely.
Certainly in comparison. God, that fucking. It's like Stevie Wonder and Ray Charles cast that fucking movie.
Not like the caterpillar face.
Yeah. God bless.
So now that you're deep into this Snyderverse stuff, are you more or less excited for the new Superman?
Less.
Okay.
So I was.
You're online. Review bomb.
I'm going to see it tonight.
Okay. Nice.
I was into the idea of seeing it before I saw Man of Steel, and we talked about Man of Steel another episode or a couple episodes ago, and it really bothers me. The campiness and the positivity that they put onto Superman. Like I get that he's a positive influence on the world, but it's a drain on him as an individual to be that always positive, always having to look out for other people, even as a child, like having to conceal his identity, lie about his identity,
constantly hold back, the amount of self-control.
Like that is a nightmarish life,
Yeah.
and it is, in theory, never ending.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So, like that is a hell on earth kind of existence. So, like now that I've seen like the way that I think it should be portrayed, or maybe not the way it should be, a great way of portraying it. I don't want to see the campiness. Right.
I get it.
And it's like, just like, so even in the Justice League, like bringing him back for, like, they couldn't even let the motherfucker just die.
You won't let me live. You won't let me die.
Yeah. That sequence of dialogue is the only thing in the Justice League that I wish would have been in the Snyder cut. When it's like when Superman says to him, like, you couldn't let me live, you wouldn't let me die.
Yeah.
And Batman says the world needs you, and Superman says, but does it need you?
Right.
Like that's such like a moment, and it's the only thing that's missing to me in the Snyder cut is just that little exchange of Superman being aware of, like, you were trying to get rid of me, now you've brought me back because you can't do this.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, I might not be able to sacrifice the values and ethics of who I am to defeat you because you have no morals or ethics, but you can't fucking do this, can you?
Yeah.
And that's what gives Superman the edge, is
And so the weird thing about Batman to me is, like, so he starts in that whole, and you said it, like, you can't give man the ability to do stuff. You gotta make sure they're
on the straight and narrow,
and then
otherwise they'll kill your parents when you fucking turn your head for a second.
but then he transitions in a way into the having hope, and
he has an arc.
yeah,
You know, like, and I think that and I think that they were going to dive more into that, like, you know, because he was robbed of that in this universe twice.
Yeah.
You know, because whatever happened with Robin was obviously like that's what put him on this crazy path that he's on now, where he's shooting motherfuckers, he's drinking, he's just randomly fucking women and leaving them, like that's what's derailed him, and this has kind of brought him back, you know, and like, you know, once again, one of those things that like we'll never get.
And that's the other side of it is like, so, you know, Superman is a tragedy, and then Batman is a hero story.
Yeah. Yep.
Right. So like you think it's the opposite.
Right. Yeah, it's true.
So like to not see that come to fruition is kind of
a bummer.
Yeah.
And I love like like those movies are slept on for some of their casting. Like Affleck is a fucking great Batman, and Cavill's a fucking great Superman, and Godot's a fucking great, or Godot's a fucking great everything. But I mean,
wrong.
Outside of that, like Harley is cast perfectly. Like, you know, there's so many like just peak choices for those characters. I mean, Victor, that guy, I'm not familiar with his work, but the way that he plays this like robotic performance of a human, like I'm bought and sold on that, you know. Like,
what did you think of the Joker?
So the Joker's complicated because when I had seen that, I had already seen Suicide Squad, and Suicide Squad was also raped and pillaged the same way that Justice League was. So I was kind of hot and cold on that Joker. I didn't hate it. I thought that there was some interesting things. There's a scene in the which you have seen Suicide Squad, or you saw the other one?
I saw the other one.
There's this one scene in the Snyder era Suicide Squad where because I think the Joker should always make you feel uncomfortable. Like you should, but it's uncomfortable almost in a thrill, where it's like you're happy that he's there, but you're physically uncomfortable. Like I get that feeling in Dark Knight when he has that guy tied up and he's got the camera on him, and he's like, are you the real Batman? And he's like, no. And he's like, well, then why do you dress up like him? You know, like, but it's like, you're like, fuck, I don't know if he's going to kiss him or kill him.
Right.
You know? And, I get that. I have a hint of that moment in the Iron Cut when he's like straddles like a lap dance, that security guard. And I'm like, man, I don't know if he's going to fuck him or kill him.
Right.
You know? And then he offers Harley up, like he offers to get himself cucked. Like, and then is offended that this dude doesn't take him up on it. You know, like it's shit like that where I'm like, I was down to see, but I was hot and cold because there was moments in that movie where I was like, I don't know how I feel about this Joker. It's too much sometimes.
Yeah.
And at first I hated like all the face tattoos. It was very Tekashi 6ix9ine to me at the time, and he had gold teeth and all that shit. But then I was like, well, fuck.
But I feel like if they would have shown
why
Batman beating the shit out of that dude,
that is like fuck, like
and earned.
Yeah,
all of that earned the
and
tattoos
Harley's all marked
all
up
that.
also. So, you know, like, and the fact that all of it, like his teeth are gold because his teeth are gone.
Right. Because Batman beat the shit out of him.
Over and over and over again.
Right.
You know, and so like when I saw him in Snyder Cut, I was like, oh God, he had the potential to be a great Joker.
Yeah, I think the idea of a truly psychopathic Joker could have been cool, and there was a lot of meat on that bone that they just didn't follow through on. Yeah, which I think is a failing overall for that 100%. Take on the DC universe.
100%.
So much potential that they just never fulfilled,
and it's a studio issue.
Right, it is.
You know.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's anytime like a big corporation gets a hold of something like that, and they're just machining out.
Yes, because they're so scared to let it fall apart, and that they squeeze it to death,
and they're trying. Like Snyder, in hindsight, and I know this is a Snyder Glaze episode, but like,
is that the name of the episode?
Yeah, probably. Snyder, it's just the difference between like an artist and a machine, you know. So Snyder knew the world that he was in. He knew that this is a Marvel dominated planet Earth, and the worst thing that we could do is try to be like Marvel.
Right.
We have to give it its own thing. And the Machine was like, this isn't like Marvel at all.
Right. We want that. Yeah. We want that.
Do you see how many T-shirts they're selling over there?
either that or like, so it's like the Machine that is the studio says like, look, we have a formula that equals, $1 billion in revenue. We don't care if it's true to the source material,
right,
or anything like that. We don't care what the diehard fans give
follow this plan.
This is the plan.
It's the blueprint.
Yeah.
And we're just going to we're going to input source material, output $1 billion.
And you saw Marvel take that and they pushed it too far
because they
all the movies became the same
because they struck a balance for the longest time, unprecedented,
right,
of soul and marketable success. Mm-hmm. And after they got extreme success, they withered every last ounce of soul out of it.
Yes.
And hopefully it's on a comeback, right? Hopefully it's taken enough L's where it's going to come back. I'm excited to see that Fantastic Four movie and see what they have planned. But even though I'm finding Pedro Pascal to be more and more obnoxious these days.
He's in so much.
He's just in too much.
It's like that Jude Law era where like every time you turn around, Jude Law was popping up as something.
Yeah.
But anyway, like I just I don't know. I love those fucking movies. And like I said when we first started this particular journey of catching you up, even if this Superman shit and this gunverse is a mess and trash and awful and whatever, or just marketable and successful and kind of plastic, like in a way, even though I never got it fulfilled, I'm content that I got what I got.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, I'm kind of, and maybe I'm.
But you weren't in the trenches for so long.
Yeah, maybe that's why. Well, because also, like, I didn't have to suffer through bad and then be happy with mediocre.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I came in with a Sherpa that said, here's the path.
Yeah.
Watch this.
Yeah.
This is the best it's going to be. And now I'm like, I don't want to see the mediocre now.
Yeah.
Like, I don't have time for it.
Yep. I get it.
Yeah.
How else was your nerve week?
I slept a little bit.
And that's good.
Nice.
Always good.
Yeah, so I don't think I had too much else going on. So Sunday night was the movie. Monday, nothing.
Tuesday, watched Snyderverse for 6 hours.
Yeah.
And then I think we wrapped up at like 1 morning, and then I ended up getting up a couple times for some other shit. And yesterday was a rough day for me too. But
yeah, yesterday was a rough day. But yeah, I don't really think I did anything else. I think I'm going to finish the Justice League today.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's a good question. What's your plans?
Yeah, and then I'm going to try again to get another episode of Clone Wars down. I didn't realize 25 minutes could be so fucking long.
Just a spoonful of Clone Wars. Do you have any plans at all to look at Suicide Squad or perhaps Aquaman?
Yeah, I think I'm gonna go with the Snyder Suicide Squad or Snyder.
Yeah.
And then I don't know if I'm gonna watch Aquaman.
Yeah.
I think I want to go into
just skip right to Aquaman 2.
I almost forgot that was a thing.
I haven't. I cannot bring myself to watch it.
I have seen it. I'm trying to think who was the villain.
Isn't it Ocean? No,
is it
Black Manta and Ocean Master, right?
Is it the two of them?
I think. I haven't seen it
because the first one is definitely Black Manta and Ocean Master. So I want to say the second one is something else.
I don't know.
But I can't remember. I legit can't remember. So like, I'll give my quick thoughts on what else is out there. So there's Aquaman, and there's still some Snyder seasoning on it. Mm-hmm. You can feel it, but they have definitely got a hold of it by then.
Yeah.
I always say this about Aquaman: it's not a good movie, but it's far better than it should have been.
Okay.
Then there's Shazam, and Shazam 2. Shazam 2 is trash.
Yes.
Shazam 1, I actually think is pretty good.
Yeah, it's okay.
And then there's the second Suicide Squad, which you have seen. So no need to talk about Wonder Woman 2, which
boy.
So that one's so like I always say this about Wonder Woman 2.
It's got Gal in it. I'm fine.
It does. So I saw.
Look, I can watch it with a different eye.
I mean,
I'm going to say this. I'm going to say this and just get it out of the way. I love it.
Really?
I love it. Wow. But I'm going to give the biggest caveat that I've ever put on, the biggest asterisk that I've ever put on a movie critique in my life. I saw that movie when it came out, and that movie came out December of 2020. And 2020 is not a good year for a guy that needs to be socially stimulated every day of his life. And I think I just needed something to make my heart feel good. And that fucking movie made my heart feel good.
Yeah, I can see that.
I'm reluctant to, I've never seen it again.
Oh, because you don't want to ruin it.
I don't want to ruin it.
Or the memory of.
Because in my head, it's great. It was exactly what I needed it to be.
Okay. Well, and so.
Never.
And what I need is more Gal Gadot. So.
Yeah.
Well, so I'll tell you, even when I talk to people about it, and I'm not looking to
has
debate
Pedro
it.
Pascal in it, so you know.
There you go.
Oh, yay.
Shocker.
Can really wish on that.
But when I had
should have died in The Last of Us, actually.
When I debated, because Pinkerton hated it, if memory serves, and I remember asking like, what did you hate about it? And he gave me this answer that I still fuck with him about, where he hated Max Lord's powers.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, okay. But like, it'd be like me saying like, well, I hate Superman. I hated Superman. I hate that movie. They'd be like, well, why? Like, this motherfucker's flying, shooting lasers out of his eyes. It's like, well, yeah. I mean, that's true. I mean, if you hate Superman, like,
I mean, I don't know. He has wish powers.
But that's what he does.
I know, but it's still goofy.
So like my thing is like, if you make a movie and they play it, in my opinion, better because he doesn't have it inherently, right? It's like some trinket or some shit that he has, right? In the comics, it's just him, if memory serves, and he's also. This book that's absolutely outstanding, which is upstairs, called Infinite Crisis. Wonder Woman has like, and she's well in the Justice League at this point, right? And there's rules of the Justice League. Like, you can't just be fucking out there putting semi-automatics to people's heads and shit. She's
just gotta be out there whipping me.
She spins his head like 360 degrees and kills the fuck out of him, like just. Like, leaves nothing for chance. So I think there's a part of that movie, because I have heard people criticize the fuck out of him, that character, and I think there's a part of that movie that maybe lands better for me just because I'm familiar with it.
Right, and I have no touchstone for that character.
Yeah, and
whatsoever.
So I think there's something to that too, that I can't unbring what I bring to it. You know.
Yeah.
So that's Wonder Woman 84, and then there's what else is there? Is that it? No. There's Flash.
Oh God,
that's another dreadful,
bad one.
I probably won't watch that.
That one's dreadful. That one's so bad it hurts.
Yeah,
because
it hurts the Michael Keaton Batman character.
Correct. So it's a multiverse story.
Yeah,
and they bring Keaton Batman into that universe, and it's like it's like you almost couldn't have done it any worse,
right?
You know.
Yep.
And then there's Black Adam, which is awful.
Yes,
awful. Arguably unwatchable. You know, like it's really bad.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of like at the end then.
Yeah.
Like maybe one or two.
Yeah, I would recommend.
Or so Suicide Squad, Wonder Woman 2.
I'm cautious about Wonder Woman 2, but
no. I'm gonna be fine with it.
Okay. Suicide Squad, then Wonder Woman 2, and in my opinion, Aquaman and Shazam.
Because I've been just like I'm gonna watch her entire catalog in the next couple of weeks, just
because she's gorgeous.
Yeah, perfect.
But yeah, and I mean, and then that's it. I don't recommend Shazam 2, Black Adam, Flash. You know.
Yeah, so I'm gonna try to watch The Boys again.
Oh, and then you're gonna tip your toes in the Watchmen Sea.
Yeah.
Oh. So
like I'd watched season 1 of The Boys, and we talked about it last week. I think. It's just a bit over the top for me. But Chris said there was some interesting like current event kind of stuff.
Definitely.
in season 2 or 3.
Definitely a lot of commentary on the world.
Yeah, so that seems interesting enough to me that I might try to get back into.
But before you do, you should watch the Watchmen.
Okay.
And I'm down to watch that one with you. It might be better to watch it here.
Okay.
Jana wants to see it too, and there's a rape scene in it that I kind of kept her from, but I think she's okay now. But like, I would
watch the longer version.
So that's the thing, is that's what I recommend. But it is like, it's Snyder, but it's like it's an art piece. Like it's cut against a cartoon and all sorts of shit. But it's like, in my opinion, it makes it that much grander. But there's a theatrical cut that's also good. But
I'd rather just watch the.
Yeah.
If I'm going to watch the 4-hour Justice League,
right? Then you can watch the 3-hour Watchmen.
Yeah. At this point,
but yeah, so that'll be interesting. That'll be interesting to see what your thoughts are on that. Because that's one, especially because you don't have the comic book, to set against. Because like that movie is very divisive, where a lot of diehard comic book people are irritated by it. But like
they changed the ending.
They changed the ending. But like I'm a diehard comic book person and a diehard Watchmen fan, but I'm kind of like, I don't know which one's better, guys.
Well, I remember reading the comic book. I think I read it before I saw the movie, and I thought the ending in the comic book was dumb, and I think the ending in the movie is better.
Yeah.
So.
And I think that's feasible.
Yeah.
Because Alan Moore, who we can talk more about after you've seen this movie, but he's the guy
He's a happy fella.
He's the guy that wrote it, and he's a hell of a comic book writer. Like he's a god that walks amongst us, but he is bat shit crazy. Like he thinks he's a wizard. He's like, he doesn't get along with anybody. He has this like crazy beard. Like he casts spells.
Yep. He license out all of his things and then hates them.
Yep.
So yeah,
batshit crazy. But one of the things that he did in another book that I love is this book called Wildcats. It was a 90s soulless style over substance type book, which was running rampant in comics at the time.
Good Jim Lee covers.
Oh my! And interiors, like beautiful art.
Yeah.
It was glitz and glam. It was style over substance. The movie was the story was ass cheeks, and it was like it was these two alien races that had been at war for thousands of years, and somehow they end up on Earth, and they're just carrying on their wars. The Damonites, which are the bad ones, and the Cherubim, I think, were the good ones. And then Alan Moore stepped in. They like got him to step in somehow. It's like arguably like one of the worst comic books of its time. And they're like, Alan Moore, you want to do it? He's like, of course. And like, and he steps in and all of a sudden made it like amazing. They get back to their home planet and they find out that the war's been over for like thousands of years, and these motherfuckers have just been killing each other for nothing. Yeah, it's like the dude's great. Like everything he touches, he makes better.
It's kind of reminiscent of like, there was like Japanese soldiers on islands.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Yes.
So like World War II ended, and then like people just like stumbled upon them, and they're like, no, the war ended.
Yeah, it's over.
Like,
They found one not too long ago.
Really?
So they're like in the last 10 or 20 years or something. Probably in the last 20 years.
Yeah,
it's like one dude they found on some island,
and they have to like show him like newspapers, and he's like, no, we would have never surrendered.
Yeah.
Like, ugh.
Actually,
they kind of did this thing.
You couldn't see it from here. It was over there. Yeah. Well, I got some stuff.
Yeah.
Not too terribly much, but I do have some stuff. Let me take a look. So obviously my kid was in this softball tournament, so there was a lot of softball. And Jana usually has like this extracurricular class on Saturdays, but she didn't. So her ass was going to support her sister because we all support Jana.
Yep.
And Jana sometimes has a hard time seeing that, but then we were all going to go support Selena because we all had the ability to. So we all went. She sat there with headphones on the whole time, looking like Laura and me at the same time somehow as kids. And she was watching it, and she just, so like, it's kids, right? And so they're throwing, and like when they're a batter, like the ball can go anywhere. And if you don't swing at it, somebody's like, good eye, good eye, good eye. So like Jana finally had enough. She just flips her headphones down, and she was like, that's not a good eye. That's just having eyes. And then puts her headphones back on. I ended up having a cookout here on the 4th. Chris Maul came down from West Virginia.
Of course he did.
Of course he did. And
did he find out about it like 90 minutes before it started and immediately?
And I'll be honest with you. I think I still feel so guilty about missing him at Skull's invite that I was like, I'm going to make sure that he can, gets an invite to this, because it was kind of like an impromptu thing. We were like, all right, let's just we have food, let's have people to eat it. And we had Cody here, so call Chris Maul. He came down. He told this story. I'm going to wait for him to tell it at some point. He told a story about him getting pulled over leaving Skulstis. I think I'm saying words. Don't take any of my words seriously. Let him tell the story. But I think half-cocked, car tossed for suspicious driving, heroin suspicions, and all sorts of shit. Ended up getting all that with a fucking warning. And a threat never to return to the state or something. Wow. But I'll let him tell the story. I
mean, that is going back to West Virginia down 70. That's
Oh yeah.
I mean, they're definitely looking for it.
Yeah. So Chucky O came out and Tara, and we actually met up with them at that seafood restaurant too, because Tara came down to watch my kid play softball because she's some sort of saint woman. She like texts Laura and will be like, "Is Selena playing? I'll be there to support."
Yeah, I saw Chucky O.
You don't have to do this.
I saw Chucky O this week too, and man, like so much, he's done so well, like losing weight.
Yeah,
like it's like I saw him at 500, but
yeah, well, he's on that shit.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, like
it's just it falls off you. You know what I mean? Like it's like and I think that he has. He has had a number of health issues, and his weight is probably a contributing factor to it. So I think for him, he's probably like a prime candidate for that sort of thing.
Yeah, but I think he's also doing it right, because he told me he's completed like a bunch of half marathon training.
He has, but that's not what's doing it.
I know, but
yeah,
he's not just
sitting on the couch doing it. 100%. Yep. And I'm happy.
The healthy way to be on that.
And I'm happy. Yes, agreed.
Yeah,
I couldn't agree more.
I would definitely just take it and be like, "Oh, I can sit on the couch."
Yeah.
I'm in.
Chris Maul also brought firecrackers and shit for my kids, so they were out here fucking around West Virginia style.
They all have their fingers still?
All have their fingers still.
Thank God.
Dante came. It was cool. It was just good hanging out. And I'm trying to think of. I'm still watching, and just like that, the Sex and the City sequel, and I just feel like it's just meandering. Like it just Sex and the City,
like a woman does.
Yeah. Sex and the City was obviously like a chick show and all that shit, but like
I enjoyed it.
It was good. Like it had direction. It was an interesting take on like, look, these are 30-something-year-old single women living in Manhattan, and this is what their life is like, and it's like there's something there. It's a slice of life thing, and now it just seems like it's like reveling in its own accomplishments,
right?
Somehow.
Well, I mean, is it I've never seen any of it, but when they first talked about doing this show, I was like, is this a show that has something to say? Are they doing it because they have something to say now?
Or are they doing it because they can?
In this time in their life?
Right.
Or are they just doing it because they had a popular show and let's go make some money?
I think it's
which is what it feels like, everything I've ever heard.
So
which is fine.
Yeah.
They can do that, but
the City had something to say originally.
No, I think it is,
which was nice. Because
I think it has something to show.
Yeah, I think it was just a different perspective.
Yeah.
Of just being like, hey, this is what it is. And, there's a little bit of the woman empowerment, sexual freedom kind of like, hey, we can be sluts. We can be sluts too.
Yeah.
But like, that's fine.
Yeah. Right? Is it? Is it ever?
I'm down for it.
And also like, just like to most of America, the idea of being a single woman in your 30s is kind of like an alarming thing. Mm-hmm. And then on top of that, a single woman that will spend $2,000 on a dress is also just mind-blowing to a lot. But it's a way of life in the culture that they were in. And it's just interesting to see a slice of life that you're not familiar with.
Right.
Yeah. But now it just seems like it's applauding itself in some way,
just pumping out another 40 hours of viewing content to make money.
Yep. And the only other thing that I'm still working on this photo project. You may have seen it when you came in, sitting to the right, where I'm getting all these photos scanned into my computer, chronologically dating them with the intention of turning them all into books that are purchasable for my kids. Like I'll have one for the house, and then when I pass, I'll pass it on to one of them. But if they would like it, because they're expensive, if they would like it, they can purchase their own when they get older and whatever. But going through it and still working through it, and like just as an array, I'm a sentimental person, but just an array of emotions that I'm feeling through it, like. Of like, fuck, man, like I can see where something went wrong here, and you can see a lifestyle change and whatever, like, and of course, like people that you've lost, and if through, and some of them are still living, but you've just lost them, but it's an interesting just to be as like involved, like entrenched in it, kind of continuously, like it has been emotionally exhausting for me, even though it shouldn't necessarily be on surface level.
I mean, I get that.
Yeah.
There's a lot to unpack.
Yeah.
Especially, you and I have a troubled past with some of the
players in our lives.
So, when you go back through that and kind of it does kind of open up those wounds, no matter how much they've really healed.
Yeah. But I was actually telling Farrah earlier that like, a lot of them aren't dated, and you're trying to figure it out, like where they fit in timeline wise. And, you get more and more creative as you go through it, so like in some of them, like I have pictures and I'm like, man, I don't know if this is in my database or not. So I got to go through the database and see if I can find one picture.
Wow.
And then I do. But I use these like little clues, like what people are wearing, hairstyles, like shit, the car in the background, and like all this kind of stuff to like try to find the rough date to pigeonhole it. And like yesterday, I did one where like I had this picture of me and my two brothers sitting on these rocks. None of us looking especially happy about being there, which is also probably true. And I couldn't figure it out. And there's not many pictures I have of my brothers, so like. It's an important picture to me, but I couldn't figure out when it was. So I looked at my sneakers. I knew what sneaker they were, and I Googled the release date of those sneakers, and it said it was probably in this time frame. And was kind of able to like dial it in a little bit. And I might be off by a couple months or whatever, but I'm in the right zone.
You're not early.
Right? Yeah.
I think it's cool you're willing to put in the work to do that, though. I often think my parents have a giant basket up in a closet somewhere that's full of pictures from when, they were in the military overseas mostly with my brothers. I'm in some of them, but I always feel like we should do something with all that stuff, but then at the same time.
Yes. And it's a process. So what I do is, and this is really boring, but fuck it. In for a penny, in for a pound, huh, listeners? So what I do is like, I'll take this picture, one picture, for instance, and I usually do them in groups. I try to like get a few together so it makes it somewhat worthwhile, but scan it in, bring it from my scanner into the computer, like from a like, it doesn't matter, but it's a separate step to scan it and then import it after it's been scanned. Mm-hmm. And then from there, I bring it into iPhoto, and then I have to go in and change the date and time in iPhoto, and then I have to export it from iPhoto onto my desktop, and then go into the website that I'm using and upload it from there. And the website chronologically puts them in order, but I have to go in and physically put the date on every single one of these fucking photos, because they all show up as, July 10th, 2025, right. And it's a fucking process, but I've done so much with so little time because I've just been like obsessive about it and cranking it out. And I had Cody here, of course, which was great, but it's like, I actually had an issue I had to fix for some of it, but even I was like, look, this is what I'm doing. You came to America, but this is what I'm working on. Like, pass me this. So Laura is getting all the pictures out of her baby book now, but they were like glued in. So like the adhesive on them is still there and it's still sticky. So like we try to get some of it off, but we can't. So then like, I'm like, fuck, like it gets jammed up in the scanner because the scanner like feeds it through. So she actually had the brilliant idea to take Post-it notes and put them on the back and then put them in the direction of the Post-it note. But now it's another step and another process. So like I had Cody putting the Post-it notes on. I was scanning them through, taking the Post-it notes off, passing him a picture. He's had another one ready for me. And it was just like, like this machine to get it all through. But it's it's been good. And actually, as I've been going through it, people have been like, family people or whatever, have been hitting me up like, hey man, like send me a copy of. Have you found the one such and such? Like, send me a copy of that. And in a way, even like
$1.75
in my job, like I'm a bit of a viewed by some as like a bit of a curator of the history of that shit, because I have so many pictures that like a lot of times when people will retire or whatever, they'll hit me up and be like, hey, I need all the pictures of so and so from whatever, and I'll be like, all right, I'll send you what I got, especially if they mop where I mop. Like I just have, some is more than others, but I still have a catalog, so I don't know, it's been good, it's been worth it. And I think it's going to pay out in droves, but it is definitely a process.
Are you guys good in this family? Are you guys good about keeping family photos up to date and changing photos out on the wall to current stuff?
No, not changing photos out on the wall, but keeping our photos. Now everybody's just using their phones. Right. We have our phones auto sequence or linked to the website that we're using for ours.
All pictures?
Yeah. So I do have to go in and delete a few. And you would think it'd be like the more salacious stuff, but it's not. It's like the screenshots of recipes and shit like that. You're like, all right, delete. But that's also why we have some of this like more cultural stuff in those books of like memes that were funny at the time and shit like that. So
one thing you could do is when you've got this collection of books at the end and you say you want to pass it on to one, you could break it up into 3, and then the whole thing together would be called the Unity.
There you go.
And you do it like, groups of years, not like sections, whole blocks, so they have to come together to have the whole thing.
Yeah, I could probably get away because I can't leave it up to them, because like Jaina would be logical about it and be like, all right, I'll take the odds, and then Selena would be like, oh, Selena would get on board and be like, okay, I'll take the evens, and then Leia would be like, I want from my birth on. Notes wise, we only have 2 notes, and they're both kind of in memorial. But it's R.I.P. to Julian McMahon. He was in Nip Tuck and
he was Dr.
Doom and so on and so forth. So he passed. I don't know if they said why.
It was cancer.
Yeah. And then R.I.P. to Michael Madsen.
Yes.
Who that was the one that I have been more of a fan of, just circumstantially in the content. But I mean, like, to me, like that role of his where he cuts off that dude's ear in Reservoir Dogs and starts talking to it is that's 1 in a million, buddy.
Yeah.
And that's like so iconic. Yeah. And then all I have is questions.
How'd you ask it?
I'm glad you asked.
You can email us at nerdrageradiomail@gmail.com.
Let's see. Okay. All right. So Billings writes in and says, guys, Andrea has been listening through all the old episodes multiple times now, long commute to work, and back on episode 260.
What is she driving across the country?
Back on episode 260, you had an in-depth Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle conversation. While I was overhearing her listen, 2 things stood out to me to discuss. 1, Bobby said NECA was dabbling in McFarlane's lane, where they were only in collectible stores and comic shops, and they weren't prepared for it. Fast forward to today, and they ran McFarlane off the road and now have multiple shelves in their own product in every Target and Walmart store. Bobby knows what he's talking about. Secondly, Bobby brought up a very interesting topic that he said he wasn't ready for, nor had the time to dive into on that episode, and I don't think he has revisited: movies killing off franchises or brands. So, and then he says in this episode, he mentions TMNT, G.I. Joe, Transformers, Power Rangers, and even the Spice Girls. Once the movie is released, the brand loses interest to the masses. I'd like a deep dive on that someday if you had the time. So, I think that I'd had to be prepared, right, to think about it more. But like, what happens is the corporation is always behind the 8 ball of the street, right? So Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles gets developed and kind of gets licensed, and it becomes a phenomenon, right? But by the time that the corporation realizes that it's a phenomenon, they're already 5 steps behind. Mm-hmm. So then they got to go out of their way and get a licensing deal for a movie. And then the movie has to agree to it, get a writer, director, a cast, a crew, shoot it, edit it, do all that kind of shit.
Promo the shit out of it.
And then it comes out on the screen, and it's kind of like it reaches an apex at that moment. And it's like this explosion, like a climax, if you will. And then after that, I think 2 things happen. 1, it's already been oversaturated. And 2, it seems like an ending.
Yeah, well, sometimes they tell too much of the story, so it kind of fulfills that need, right? And then other times they don't tell enough of it, and then they go through that whole like part 2, part 3, and then people are like, I don't have time to wait a decade to get. Then the next thing comes up, and you're like, okay,
yeah. So I think that like Transformers and G.I. Joe both made a critical error where they and I'm not people get very defensive about Transformers, but I'm not shitting on the future because I love Rodimus and Galvatron and all that kind of shit, but they killed off what made that show successful. Mm-hmm. They killed off all the characters that made that show successful. And in their head, they were like, well, kids are stupid. We'll make new characters. They'll buy new toys and it'll keep on going forever. But kids are like, these aren't the characters I love.
Yeah.
And, and half of them didn't see the movie. So we're like, where the fuck is Prime? Right. Where the, so like, and the same thing happened to G.I. Joe. So like while I think the formula still applies where they're behind the 8 ball, there's an oversaturation, it is coming to a climax, et cetera, they also changed the formula. And then now it's not even recognizable in the same way. Same thing happened with G.I. Joe with Turtles. I think it was oversaturation. And then I think the second one was nail in the coffin because the first one was super successful. Still, I think it's fucking great to this day. But
that's
then
getting a re-release in theaters soon.
Is it really? Yeah. But the second one, by the time you get to fucking, Vanilla Ice doing a 2-step, like it's, it's too much. It's gone too far, I think, and I once again, another franchise that, people with a touch of the tism sometimes get emotional about, but Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. I know that Mighty Morphin Power Rangers has been around since the fucking 70s or Jesus Wore Short Pants or whatever the fuck it was. I know it's still around and still successful in its own way. But during the 90s height of success of Mighty Morphin Power Rangers in the States, it climaxed with a live action movie and then fizzled out, and I think it's just all those things that kind of come together, like the Beatles or Aerosmith or Michael Jackson, and the same with Spice Girls. Like, like you pushed it too far. Like it was this pop sensation that led to like a resurgence in like the pop group form, right? Like out of Spice Girls, you get Backstreet Boys and all this other shit, but like. Like you overjuiced that fruit.
You oversaturate the market, and it becomes exhausting.
Yeah.
Well, so sorry.
No, go ahead.
So like the other thing, so like I'm getting into things later, right?
Right.
But so if you take Lord of the Rings as an example, I binge watched all 3 extended cut movies in like a weekend, right? In preparation for the Amazon season 1 show. And then I have to wait 2 years for season 2.
Yeah. So,
like, I don't have, like, there's so much in these worlds to keep track of to get the full experience that you can't spend 2 years waiting because you just move on to the next thing. And it's like,
and momentum.
Why did this happen? Oh, yeah. So it's like, unless I'm reading the books and staying in it, that's why my normal thing is to wait until it's all out and then to consume it then. Because I don't want to say, I got to switch from Lord of the Rings over to Game of Thrones, over to Star Wars, to, this. And it's like there's we build these things out so far.
And momentum is important. The momentum of a franchise, the momentum of everything. Like if you take like a in the music industry, right? Like an artist, it used to be, now it's even quicker, but like the turnaround used to be, the expectation was your album, you had 2 to 3 years max
between albums,
yeah. Right? Because, you have an album, your debut album starts a rollout January of 2025, just to make it easy. So you get 3 singles. The first single's to introduce it. The second single lands within a week or 2 of the release of the album. Mm-hmm. The third single comes out after the album to kind of get the last push. And so that takes you 3 to 4 months from 2025. Then you tour.
Yep.
You tour for 4 to 6 months. Now that takes up 2020. 2025 is basically shot. 2026 is when you record that second album. And then 2027, we start the rollout again.
Yeah, same thing all over again.
You've got to stay on that cycle, because if you take your foot off the gas, people will forget you and start thinking about these other people that are not. I think about like DMX, right? So DMX comes out, and it's like a very like Kurt Cobain punk rock story, right? Rappers are super successful. They're wearing watches on each wrist. I'm not sure if one's set to Central and one's set to Eastern, but they're wearing multiple watches. They're wearing shiny suits, legitimately suits that are shiny.
Yeah, I think it's just daylight savings time.
maybe. $2,000 sunglasses, et cetera, and then here comes a guy with jeans and a tank top and a pair of boots that have looked well worn, with a dog chain around his neck, and starts barking on a record, and people are like, "Thank Christ!" Right. That album comes out May of 1998 and is followed up with a whole nother album December of 1998, and within 6 months he owns the fucking music industry.
Right.
The momentum is just it's the same with this toy shit. Like, you stop, like, how excited, and take the spotlight off you for a minute, Farrell, but like, people are hitting me up like, Fans Toys Dead End, it's coming. I'm like, man, I don't give a shit. Mm-hmm. I'm so over it, because it lost the momentum, and it didn't lose the momentum today. It lost it in 2020.
Yeah.
And here I am 5 years later for a toy that was announced 9 years ago.
Yeah.
And
a toy that is going to feel old when you get it.
Yes.
So, but the other side of it, the other possibility, especially in the music world, is like Lil Wayne, who is dropping albums week to week. Mm-hmm. With just so much shit on it,
and then mixtapes, and
it's just like, hey, did you hear the new Lil Wayne mixtape drop? And you're like, which one?
Yeah, but the one I thought was new is not the new one, apparently.
Right, and then it's like, and half of it, for me, in particular, I didn't like half of the songs. There'd be like 1 or 2, that slapped on each one. Mm-hmm. But it's like, now I got to sift through the bullshit to find the ones that, like, I'd rather you just put out a fucking
album,
a polished album.
Yeah.
And I'm going to like 90% of it.
Because that's the thought, right? Like the word is like Thriller. Like, they recorded like 30 songs for Thriller, and then chose like 10.
Right.
And it's like, no wonder that motherfucker, like, you got arguably the best pop star that the world has ever seen, and one of the best producers that the world has ever seen, working in a studio nonstop to make 30 records and choose the best 10. Like, no wonder Thriller is what it is.
Yeah.
Right.
But so like that's the opposite of momentum.
Right. Right.
Like,
well, yes, but he's still, I think
I mean Wayne.
Yes. Yeah. But because there is a fine line between you laying the breadcrumb trail just right for you to keep picking up pieces, or putting too many crumbs where now it seems like a mess.
Yeah.
Or not enough crumbs where now you look for other food.
Right.
Yeah. So thanks for that one. Paul C. He writes in and says, across all media, is there any franchise or company where you will still give them the benefit of the doubt when their products / productions, or have you been burned too much now? Will you still, as the kids say nowadays, let them cook even if you don't see the direction at the moment? Let's answer that one first.
That sounds like X-Transponse.
Yeah, to an extent. I think I'm that way with DC. We're like, still, and like but I think, I don't know if they couldn't fuck me to a point, like, because Star Wars, I don't care anymore. Like, Star Wars has pushed me to a point where I don't care. Like, if a new Star Wars, if I could go back in time and tell, like, I'm 44. If I could just go back in time to the time that I was 39, and say, by the time you're 43, there's a Star Wars television show that's going to come out, and you're not even going to watch it. I would have been like,
Which one was it?
That fucking Goonies one.
Oh yeah.
among others, Tales from the Empire I haven't seen. The little anime shows I don't have any interest in seeing. But like, I would have called you insane. I would have said like, well, this clearly isn't reality. I must be in some 8th dimension somewhere. Like, it's impossible. So I'm not going to say that nothing could ever push me to that limit. But, like DC, like I'm very upset with Warner Brothers and how they handle the Snyderverse and all that kind of stuff. But like, I love DC. I still love DC. So the fact that there's a Superman movie coming out, I'm going to go see it. Now if this one kicks me in the dick and the next one kicks me in the dick and at a certain point I'm going to be like, all right, fuck this too.
Right.
I feel like I'm with any franchise that I like. I have accepted the fact there will be points in that franchise where I am going to lose interest, but I feel like I'm always open to the possibility that something will grab me and pull me back in. So that's kind of where I am with the new Superman movie. Like I want it to be good. I'm very trepidatious on it, like, because it's James Gunn and he makes good movies, entertaining movies, but there's that whole, like, it's going to have a lot of unnecessary slapstick silliness to it. But with anything, even with, Transformers and all the base stuff that sucked, and they tried to sort of fix it, but it didn't catch with mass audiences, and now they're talking about bringing Bay back, and it's just like,
yeah.
But hey, maybe it'll be great. Who knows?
It won't be.
It won't be. But I'm always willing to give it a shot and see.
Yeah. So some stuff, I have to.
And same with Star Wars. All it takes is one good movie.
So that's true.
But
I have to keep myself in check because I have 2 different reasons why I consume content. I consume content because I want to, and I consume content to talk about it at this table.
Content.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, and that's it. So like sometimes I'm consuming it, like this Superman movie, I'm consuming it because I want to. But what was the last Star Wars show that I did watch? Andor 2. I mean, and I know this, it's well liked, but like I found it really, really dull. And I finished that show to talk about it here.
Right.
And I think that even stuff like even though I love DC, that show about Peacemaker, I pretty much watched to talk about it here. So like I have 2 different reasons why I might continue to watch something, whereas if I wasn't in a position where people cared about what I think about some of this shit, then I probably wouldn't, on some of it.
Gosh, Peacemaker, that's a perfect example of momentum in something. They're getting ready to put a season 2 out of that. Like, who cares? Who cares at this point? That universe is done.
It's especially tricky.
4 years since season 1. Like, who cares at this point?
That's another problem that DC had in the transition, is like some of this stuff is still left over from the Snyderverse. Some of this stuff, like that Sadman movie, the Robert Pattinson Batman film, like that was independent of all of it, but you can tell they've put their brakes on that in case this Superman movie takes off, and they can be like, oh, no. We're either going to roll that into this or we're going to start over.
Off in the,
Yep.
Yeah. I read something online, somebody that saw Superman already, and they said that Batman and this Superman
don't mix.
Wouldn't mix.
Yeah.
So, which doesn't surprise me.
No. But I do think that if this Superman movie is super successful, that you will see them try or forfeit. They'll do one or the other. You either, if you get a Batman or Sadman 2, it's going to be in the Gunverse. Is my
I don't know.
That's my
because they're working on a Batman.
I know.
Well,
it's my theory.
That's true. Who knows?
If you get a Sadman 2, it will be tied to this Gunverse. If you don't get a Sadman 2, it's because they want to start a new Batman for this Gunverse. If all of that is predicated on this Superman being successful. If it's not successful, anything goes.
Right. Yeah.
Because Warner Brothers is not above shelving a movie.
No, that's true.
On the opposite end of the spectrum, he says, is there anyone or anything where if you see they're involved in something, you will immediately just go, nope, regardless of what it is? So I get close. Michael Bay brings me close.
Yeah.
The Rock Johnson brings me close. Keanu Reeves brings me close. Tom Cruise brings me close. And there's one other Keanu Reeves, Dwayne The Rock Johnson, like no talent hack that I get I'm drawing a blank on him at the time. But those are the ones offhand. I'm trying to think if there's even like, I don't even think in music there's anybody that I hate so much that like I wouldn't check something out.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
Like I even listened to that Drake single that he put out just the other day. Like just give it a shot. You know.
What'd you think?
I don't think it's good. Let me rephrase that. I think it's a good Drake song, and therefore I don't like it. But I'm also a bit confused by it. Like when I saw the title, it's called "What Did I Miss?" It's like, wait, I mean,
Your death.
You missed all your hits in that fight. every swing you missed.
Now this is the song where he's like calling out people who were supposed to be on his side.
So he doesn't say them. Right? He doesn't say them by name.
Well, yeah, but yeah, that's the intent of the song.
That is the statement he's making. Is like, where were these issues? You know, which is a fair topic, right? Like, where were these issues when I was at the top of my game, #1 artist in the world, which he may still be or whatever, aside from Taylor Swift, and he was putting you on a record. You know, you didn't seem to have any issue with me then,
right?
But then this Kendrick thing happens. Now all you motherfuckers got issues with me. You know, so it's a fair. Like, I think the concept of the song is more interesting to me than the song itself.
Isn't it kind of whiny though?
Yeah, but I mean, have you heard Drake? You know, he's a whiny guy. Yeah. But like in the same breath, it's like I think that his fan base is going to respond to it. Like I think that it's the right music for them. I don't like a lot of Drake music. You know,
no, I'm the same way. Like the Drake songs that I like are the, you know, more for the sound, or like the. I'm not thinking about them.
Yeah. You know what I mean? Just a fine enough song to have in the background.
Yeah.
Well, so Mos Def, the rapper Mos Def, he said he makes music to shop to.
Yeah.
And a buddy of mine said he makes music that grown men that still sleep with stuffed animals listen to. But I mean,
I wonder what Melina would think about that.
Yeah, I've told him. Trust me. But I think that see, he has an album, Iceman, which I'm not sure what the statement is there, but he has an album coming out called that I'm very anxiously looking forward to hearing, just because I want to know where his mind is right now. And I might not like anything on it, but I'm interested in how you feel.
Yeah,
right.
You know. But yeah, that was pretty much my list. And to be fair, even with like Dwayne The Rock Johnson and shit, it's not so much him. It's just that, like, if you put him as a major player in what you're making, I already know that what you're making is something that doesn't appeal to me.
Right.
You know, more often than not. I mean, unfortunately, like a lot of people, like Jason Statham and those sorts of folks, like
pushed into that.
Are all in that. You know, Vin Diesel is in that pocket for me, just because like chances are what you have. What the reason why you hired this man is the exact reason why I don't want to go. It doesn't really have a whole lot to him. It's just it's the job that
Liam Neeson to me.
It has become that.
You know, completely separated from Schindler's List.
Well, he did a lot of separating in Schindler's List too. To be fair, separated. Like there was a people on a list actually that.
Oh yeah. I forgot the premise of that movie.
It's the only, it's the only time I've ever seen moisture fall from my father's eye. It was that movie.
So, did I tell you before that I have a playlist of songs where it's like, make sure I still have feelings?
That string that.
Yeah. So I have songs on there that
it's John Williams
that elicit an emotional response from me, because there's a lot of things that I do off mic that I can be considered cold because I see some things
and it can make people jaded.
Yeah, so like every once in a while, like if I see something specifically horrific and I'm just like making a joke about it, 10 minutes later, like after a couple of those, I'll be like, I want to make sure I'm still human. So I put this on. But the Liam Neeson scene in Schindler's List, the I Could Have Saved More, is on the movie version of that. So there's like scenes that I have, like of a note to go, like this time in this movie generates an emotional response, and that is one of them for me.
So I got two stories to tie into that. One, just to finish my father's story, we were walking out of the theater, and I looked up at him, and he had this one teardrop right on the side of his eye. And I was like, what the fuck? And he just brushed it off with his hand and looked down at me and said, sad movie. And that was all we talked about. Second thing is, it's not available anymore. I'm not sure for copyright reasons or moral reasons or whatever, but there's a Perfect Circle record called Count Bodies Like Sheep that's absolutely astounding. And there was a cut of it on YouTube, like a music video cut to Schindler's List, and it was amazing. And I don't think it's available anymore. There's also one cut to Dark Knight, which is okay, but the Schindler's List one was great. It feels weird to say, but it was. But yeah, Schindler's List was good. That's another one I need to watch with my kid. I feel like. Trey Fire writes in. He says, howdy, lads. Hope all is well with you. A couple of questions for the gang. Gang. Is it safe to say that we are all perverts? Now, of course, I am referring to the way we grew up. Not sure of all your ages, but I'm pretty sure we grew up around 80s movies like Fast Times at Ridgemont High, Revenge of the Nerds, etc., and porn, which I believe we've all experienced one way or another. With the way that people are taking offense to those who are very freaky or who like to see, touch, TNA, how much of these reactions to people like Diddy has changed any of you in regards to your own sexual desires or preferences? So that's his first question. So look, this has been a reoccurring subject here. I have kept my stance on this consistent from the beginning, that I think he's a bad person charged with crimes that he should be found innocent of. And
yeah, but I don't think that's part of the question.
It's not. I'm saying that as a foundation before I move forward.
Gotcha.
In regard to the sexual stuff that he's been, so it seems like his bag was like his bread and butter. Now, like my bread and butter is
who's the bread and who's butter.
Well, so indeed. So my bread and butter is my wife sucks my dick for a little bit and then hops on top. That's my bread and butter. But that doesn't mean we don't do the other stuff too from time to time. That's just kind of the Skullface Friday night go-to, right?
After pizza.
Yes. Not too much pizza though, because then I'm not, then I'm farty pants. But Diddy's seems like his bread and butter, his go-to was to hire a male escort, prostitute, stripper type of character, come in, watch his girl, and this man get it on for an extended period of time, sometimes not even having sex, just caressing, whatever, sometimes having sex, but sometimes not, and then having sex with her afterwards. That seems to be his bag. Now, he got into some other freaky shit as well. That stuff happened, but that seems to be like his bread, his tried and true. And with that being said, I don't think that that's my bag, because I am a jealous person by nature, but I try not to, unless you're hurting someone, I try not to kink shame anybody. I kind of feel like sex is something that we should be more open about and up for it. So it hasn't really affected my views at all, although it has made me think a little bit about like the cuckolding thing, right? Because there's like, to my understanding, and I'm far from an expert, but there seems to be like 3 variations of it. And I don't understand the nuances of all 3. Mm-hmm. But there's cuckolding, which is you are watching your wife get taken in front of you, and there's almost a humiliation thing to it. That's the one I want to do as the bull. Yeah. That's the one I really want to take part in. And then there's, and just to reiterate, as the bull, I don't want to be the person disrespected, but I just think I'd be good at disrespecting you. And then there's the hot wifing, right? And so this is, you have a wife and you are turned on by her having sex with other people, but you select the person. You're almost the person that needs convincing. Like the guy almost needs to win you over to allow him to have sex with your wife in front of you. Like it's a more of it's a different sort of thing.
And there's no degradation of you
at all. In fact, that would be your fastest way out of it.
Right.
So that one, there's an allure to me, not to partake in personally, but I get it because it's a power dynamic where it's like, I have so much power over this woman. I even control who and when she fucks. Yeah. So I understand that dynamic. And then there's something called stag and vixen, which I don't really understand how that is different from the other 2, but that's something else that's similar. And of those three things, I like whatever, as long as everybody's happy, everybody's content, the wife isn't doing it just to please you or something like that. As long as everybody's on board, everybody's having a good time, and nobody is hurt, I'm like, go for it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Doesn't change my opinion whatsoever. And then the second part was, what series are you caught up on or watching? Joey, I've watched Devil May Cry and Blood of Zeus. Chris is not here, but he said, did you watch Ironheart? Bobby, how are you enjoying it? Just like that, we covered that. And The Bear, sorry, Farrell, sounds like you're playing catch up on movies and shows. I'm not watching The Bear. I'm watching Just Like That, and I think that's it.
Yeah, so
I'm watching The Mortician, but I'm way behind in it. I've been busy with
not really catching
softball
up
tournaments.
On all shows. It's not like I didn't watch stuff before.
I think he means like just because we can talk about the Snyderverse and Star Wars and stuff.
So I mean, like, I'd be interested to see what if there's any suggestions that people have of other things to watch. I'd be willing to try.
Mm-hmm. But all of you people, get in line because I'm steering this boat right now.
He has total control over what
you watch and when you watch.
Are you tucking me right now?
No, I'm hot wifing you. I'm hot nerding you.
God damn it.
Yeah. Okay, and then we have one more from Matt H., who says, hey, fellas, hope all is good with you lads. First off, I want to thank Joey and Eric B. publicly for giving me great advice on weight loss. I have lost 14 pounds since Solstice and have been averaging 4 days a week at the gym. Thanks, boys. Congratulations to you, too, Matt. Matt, we've talked on here about Matt's diabetes and everything else, so I'm sure that's all helping everything. Thanks, boys. A question for you, Joe. What do you think of a complete fast day? Do 1 day. He says, I do 1 day a week where I eat nothing. I crush black coffee, sugar-free monsters, and water only. I enjoy it. Planning for the apocalypse, don't you know? I will always say the back pain is far less exquisite on my fast day. So Joey's not here, but I think I know him well enough to answer this. Joey really enjoys eating. He really enjoys food. So Joey probably would not be interested in a fast day. Joey fasts almost completely until dinner, it seems. Like he eats like protein and usually in the form of a bar or something like that, and coffee and energy drinks and that sort of a thing. And then I think at dinner he consumes between 15 to 2,000 calories and then rinse and repeat.
Yeah.
And he is a firm believer in not punishing yourself to just do what makes you happy as long as it fits within the confines of the caloric number. So I don't think he would be interested in it, but I don't want to speak for him. It's just my guess. Then he said, now for the rest of the Goon Brigade. He said, some either or. The band Either Ors are seeing that band live at their peak ability. Oh, the band. Oh, this is the band. For the bands. The Either Ors are seeing that band at their live peak ability. So if he says Guns N' Roses, we're talking about Appetite. We're not talking about, today. Okay. All right. So here we go. Orange or apple?
Apple.
Orange.
I'm going orange. Now, you put some peanut butter in the mix. It's a different conversation, but the apple still matters to me. So, like, it better be like a Honey Crisp or something that snaps.
Yeah. Or a Macintosh.
But not like a fucking, like a mushy apple or something like that.
Delicious, that bullshit.
Yeah. So, like, for me, an orange, to me, I think an orange is a safer choice because, to me, the least flavorful orange is better than the least flavorful apple.
I think opposite. I think oranges are too much of an unknown. So you peel one and sometimes they're great and you're like, this is the best thing I've ever had. And sometimes you peel one and you're like, this is shit.
Yep.
If it was shit, I would just crush it up and add some vodka.
Yeah. And a little bit of Sprite. Grape or cherry?
Grape.
Cherry. Once again, it depends on what we're talking about.
Yeah.
Because, like, if we're talking about, like, jelly, I'm going grape. If we're talking about snowballs, I'm going cherry. So, mashed or baked?
Baked.
Mashed.
Baked. But I'm not a fan of either. I'm saying baked because my fries go in the oven. Reese's Peanut Butter Cup or Kit Kat?
Reese's.
Kit Kat.
Ranch or blue cheese?
Oh,
Ranch.
That depends on what it's on.
You've had it. I refuse to answer.
Like, so I used to be like a hot wings ranch all the time. But then I actually got good blue cheese on a proper hot wing, and like
Game changer.
yeah.
Okay.
So
I'm going ranch. Not to, but we make our own homemade ranch here,
oh shit,
and it's quite delightful. Hamburger or hot dog? Hamburger for
Hamburger.
hot dog.
Shotgun or rifle?
What are we using it for?
Yeah, whatever you want.
I guess rifle.
I'm going shotgun.
I'd rather suck stutter shotgun than a rifle. Just the most cleanup possible is going to be.
Lobster or crab?
Crab.
On a pretzel.
On a cracker. Whoa.
I saw Billy today.
Did you?
Yeah.
What a guy. He misses me so much.
I know.
Cool Ranch or nacho cheese dormitory?
Cool Ranch.
Cool Ranch.
So I'm guessing he meant Dorito.
Yeah.
So between those two, Cool Ranch is my answer. However, I'd take spicy nacho cheese Dorito over Cool Ranch. Jello or pudding?
Pudding.
Pudding.
Neither.
Donut.
Unless it's a shot. And then I'll take a Jello shot.
Donut or muffin?
Donut.
Muffin.
Donut.
Donuts make my stomach hurt.
Fried egg or scrambled?
Fried.
Fried.
And then he says real G's like poached. All right. So the bands, this should be fun. This is an odd pairing, but I'm okay with it. Salt and Pepper or In Vogue? It's In Vogue for
I
me.
think I would go in Vogue.
It's In Vogue for me. They can sing.
Yeah, but like it would be.
But Salt and Pepper is here.
That would be fun. That would be fun.
Salt and Pepper's here. Vanilla Ice or Snow? Snow.
Yeah.
Info. You know, Snow's actually like, he's kind of the genuine article. Like his father is like balls deep in the drug trade and everything else. Like he like was raised in it. Like he's like,
Instead of being produced by.
yeah. He actually like people joked on him because he did like the reggae shit and he was from Canada, but like there's a lot of reggae shit in Canada. And he right after I want to say, don't quote me on this. If I'm wrong, I'm in the right ballpark. Right after his album came out, like that first single dropped, The Informer, which was huge. And then there was a second single, but I don't even think he got a third single. And the reason why is because he got locked up shortly after his album came out. Like he was kind of the real deal.
So Snow didn't make a renovation show.
No, he did not. And Suge Knight never hung him off of a hotel balcony either. And then he didn't lie about it later. All right. So speaking of Suge Knight to an extent in terms of where how that journey went, NWA or Wu-Tang Clan?
Wu-Tang. Ain't nothing to fuck with.
Yeah. I think that like NWA's impact is huge, and the kind of ripples of that stone thrown in that pond are immeasurable. But people forget how short that run was because they split up pretty quickly.
Yeah.
Chicago or Boston? Oh, he's going to hate my answer for this.
I don't know.
I would say Boston.
So I'm going Chicago.
Yeah, that's where I was leaning, but I don't know why.
I've never been to Boston, so that's a caveat. I like the pizza in Chicago. It's not my go-to, but I do quite enjoy it. I like drill music. And I actually really like Chicago, the city, like especially the downtown area. Like I've never experienced something quite like it, where it feels like this huge metropolis and yet has this like hometown, everybody knows themselves Midwest charm to it in a way too, where like I've seen like the milkman like say, "Hey Johnny," to the guy that owns the shoe store, like, "How are the kids?" and shit like that. I'm like,
do you think he was talking about the bands, Chicago?
oh yes, of course he was. I'm a fucking idiot.
I thought you were trying to tie
I'm
it
a
in somehow.
fucking idiot.
I thought you were going somewhere.
I
with
am
it, and was
so
like,
dumb.
I think he actually means the cities.
I'm the dumbest person on this pod right now. I don't have a preference.
I would say Boston.
Yeah, I mean, I originally thought Chicago, and then I started looking up.
More Than Feeling and all that.
Yeah. So yeah, I kind of want to lean Chicago, but it's like I'm not invested in either to like really.
Tool or Nine Inch Nails?
Tool.
9 Inch Nails.
All right, so here's the question here: which is the prime of both?
It's Lateralis versus Downward Spiral.
Okay, then I go 9 Inch Nails.
Yeah. So,
I think Tool has. I think their music stands the test of time better. I think 9 Inch Nails, the older stuff, sounds really old.
okay, so I will say that 9 Inch Nails' first album sounds really old. Pretty Hate Machine sounds old. But I don't even think people are gonna hate me on this. So I'm hesitant to say this.
No, say it.
I love Tool. I love Maynard. I think if I were to imagine how a male angel would sing, it would be his voice. That being said, I don't think Tool has a great album until Lateralis.
I don't know.
I know it's a hot take.
Yeah,
most people would say Enema at least, but
So that's why I asked when you put that.
But I think that they didn't really. I think that Tool took longer to find themselves than people think, and I think it was the success of Sober that did it.
Yeah. Yes.
I think
but I like old Tool more than I like new Tool.
So I do not,
because I don't see the point of 13-minute songs.
So
I think there's a lot of their head is up their own ass now. I like them. I like everything that they've put out, but I like old Tool because their songs.
So what do you call old Tool?
I mean everything from basically Enema back.
Okay, all right. So to me, I like to me.
I love Lateralis. That's a great album.
So to me, peak Tool is Lateralis and 10,000 Days. Like those are my two favorites.
But Lateralis was where they started down this road
100%.
Ambling,
and that's because of the success of Sober.
It is, but it's gotten to a point now, like on
Numa or whatever that one was.
Their newest album, where it's like,
I'm
that's
not
a good
crazy
album,
about
but like,
it's okay. It's
every song. I have the same criticism with Metallica. You know,
I
all
have a
their
very
songs.
different criticism.
Well, sure, but I'm just saying, like, you know, every album doesn't need to be this like epic thing where I have to listen to this 13-minute opus, you know, and it's great that it's got all these time changes and, you know, all this, but like, good grief. Sometimes you just want to sit down and
rock out.
Yeah. Because I tend to listen to albums as, you know, as whole albums. I like to sit down and listen to them front to back and like, you know.
Yeah,
some of the songs are exhausting.
Hours.
Yeah, some of the songs get exhausting.
They are.
For a while.
They are, but I do think that so I agree with everything you said, but except I would say that like those like opus songs is kind of what has defined who that band is.
Sure.
So I would say that that's when they kind of truly became Tool as we know them, that they didn't really figure themselves out until Lateralis.
Sure.
You know, but I like stuff off all the previous stuff. Don't get me wrong, except for the one Opium. I don't think I like anything off of there. Which is like an EP.
Oh my God! No, I love that album.
I don't like anything
Opiate?
off of it. Opiate, yeah,
yeah.
It's not my bag.
No
it's
way.
Not my bag. Yeah,
that album's so good.
Yeah, yeah. I think I don't find it.
Hence the difference of opinion.
There you go.
Yeah,
it's almost like
yeah.
we're two different people.
I don't find it. I don't find anything on there distinguishing.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I like.
I couldn't agree less.
Yeah, I don't know, something about like because like Sober, to me, Sober got played out. It's like maybe the only Tool record song that got played out. But like when the Grudge comes on Lateralis, just like it's that sound of that machine start running, like I'm already like I know exactly what this is. I know exactly what I'm in for. Like it's this completely like iconic, recognizable moment, and I don't feel that way about anything off Opiate. I have it,
Wow.
I have it because I'm a collector, but it's not my bag. Let's see.
Listen to it on the way home.
Good, you should. You should. Take mine.
Baltimore or New York?
God, I'm an idiot. Stone Temple Pilots or Alice in Chains?
Alice in Chains.
Alice in Chains.
I like both, but Alice in Chains.
Yeah, I like both.
I don't like both.
Oh, really?
Yeah, not a fan. I like of Stone Temple Pilots. I like one song I think by them.
Which one?
I always forget the name. It was a hidden song on their first album. Like their first album had like 2 hidden songs at the end of the tape. But I have it in my library. Let me find out.
So
it'll be easy because it'll only be one.
I wasn't a huge I've never really been a huge STP fan. But,
Still remains.
But
okay.
I listened to a couple of their live tracks, and they fucking crush.
They're great. I've seen them like, well, back in the day before Scott died. I saw him probably 5 or 6 times.
Yeah, I never liked his voice.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
That just sonically, like nothing, not the songwriting or anything like that, or even like his ability. Just sonically found unpleasing or displeasing.
Interesting. Yeah, we were just listening to Tiny Music from the Vatican Gift Shop, the 3rd album, and my wife and I were talking about how, like, gosh, what a huge departure just in sound and everything that 3rd album is from the first 2.
Yeah, and I only know the first 2.
Yeah. Well, maybe you might like the third
one.
album.
Maybe
You should give it a shot.
I should.
Very different. His just vocal performance, very different. Everything about it, very different. But yeah. But Alice in Chains, by far.
Yeah, same here.
And then even current Alice in Chains, I
have a hard time getting into it.
Oh, I like them. I don't know,
Yeah.
but I also really like Jerry Cantrell.
Yeah,
I like their new singer, Will.
I am. Can you imagine?
William Duvall.
Okay,
he's very good.
Like, Willie Slamo's over there now.
I like that album cover with the Triceratops head.
Yeah,
it's cool.
Yeah. That's a decent album.
Let's see. Grateful Dead or Fish?
Grateful Dead.
So,
I feel like you had something else to say about that.
Me?
Yeah. Did you not? You said you've been like this. Grateful Dead.
No. Oh no.
Okay. All right.
I don't give 2 shits about Fish. So.
Oh, okay. Maybe that was it.
I've got this like particular point in like high school that Fish was big. So like,
yes,
I'd have to say Fish.
I would go neither. They don't make the type of music that I'm remotely interested in at all. It's too jam sessiony and too like jazz in the form of rock music. And also Fish fuck traffic up in the city that I grew up all the time. So like, so I'd have to say Grateful Dead if I had to choose, only because they fuck traffic up. But that would be it. Fat Boys or Kid and Play?
Fat Boys or Kid and Play? Oh, I mean, I think I probably listened to Fat Boys more than I listened to Kid and Play back in the day.
Yeah, I didn't really listen to either.
Yeah. I don't have a great opinion on either.
Kid and Play I would
it's
probably
children's rap.
Yeah, so I would probably choose Kid and Play because I liked House Party as a kid. But that would be specifically why. Big Daddy Kane or Ghetto Boys?
Kane?
Yeah, Big Daddy Kane.
So this is an interesting one. So I say Kane also. However, if you were to change this to Big Daddy Kane or Scarface, harder question for me.
I mean, I like Ghetto Boys too.
Yeah. They're great, but they're not Scarface great.
Right.
Like he showed why they were great. Yanni or that in that album. You know that album with that album with Bushwick Bill like on the hospital gurney, like that's real. Like
that's a real photo.
Yeah, he was shot. They found out, called Scarface, and damn, I'm drawing a blank on the other dude, Willie D. Gave him the news, said he's fine. They're like, get down here for a promotional picture. And they got down here, and that became that became the cover to the record, which is fucking great.
Yeah.
Yanni or John Tesh? I don't know the music of either.
No,
it's that like new age.
Oh, I know what it is. I just don't know the music.
I would have to say Yanni.
Garth Brooks or Chris Gaines?
either.
Garth Brooks.
I go Garth Brooks also. Lionel Richie or Africa Bambaataa, which is an odd pairing.
I guess Lionel Richie.
Lionel Richie for me. He's framed in my home.
Hey, there you go.
And Africa Bambaataa, I love Planet Rock. But he also, I think, touched little kids and don't separate the art from the artist and all that. I'm consistent on that, but that does make my choice a little easier there. I'm going to save this one. God, I hate myself sometimes. I hate that I can't just lie and make my life easier. Here we go. We'll skip that one. Pearl Jam or Nirvana. That's an easy one for me.
Pearl Jam.
Nirvana. And actually, I wouldn't even listen to Pearl Jam. Keep in mind, I'm like 12.
Sure.
But Kurt said, fuck that dude.
Yeah.
And I was like, fuck him.
See, I was the opposite. Like, I had heard Nirvana, but I didn't really listen to them until I heard that guy had died, until Kurt Cobain was dead. And then I was like, oh. And then I was house sitting for some people in my neighborhood, and they happened to have In Utero.
Uh-huh.
And so I put it on, I listened to it, and then I was like, oh, fuck, it sucks that dude's dead now.
Dude, that motherfucking In Utero opening up with that Scentless Apprentice.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, let's go.
Yeah, I like lyrics too much to really get behind Pearl Jam.
And I think Pearl Jam has the worst lyric in any song.
Oh, you said that about Jeremy.
Yeah. Clearly I remember picking on the boy.
Such a harmless little fuck.
I can't take that line seriously.
Yeah.
Like, I just, like, every time I hear it, I'm just looking at somebody and they're like, picking on the boy. But yeah, Nirvana was like so like growing up, like I've said this 1,000 times, but like, my neighborhood specifically, but outside, rock music wasn't really accepted. Like, and music was out outside. Like, people would bring out speakers and stuff and like little boom boxes or whatever and play music while people were bullshitting or whatever. But like, you wouldn't hear rock music. I wasn't really exposed to it because my dad was 1,000 years old, and listened to like Johnny B. Good still. And the only rock bands that were like accepted was Guns N' Roses and Nirvana. But years later, I got into all of it, and then figured it out, but they were just pivotal. That band was a pivotal band for me, of a person not having a lot of bands that were pivotal to them.
Yeah.
Nine Inch Nails was that for me too, which I've found out about otherwise, and then kind of secretly loved them to myself. But let's see. Okay, still skipping that one. Metallica or Ozzy? This is tricky for me.
I would say Metallica.
So I would say Metallica also, but I just want to be clear. I'm choosing between hating half of Metallica's catalog, actually probably 2/3 of Metallica's catalog at this point, and hating half of Ozzy's family.
Come on, then we got something right down in front.
I fucking hate Sharon. I fucking hate her.
She is a piece of work.
She is the Yoko Ono of metal.
Yeah. Did you watch any of the?
I watched some highlight reels. I watched the Tool performance, of course.
Yeah.
There wasn't, to be honest with you, that a lot of those bands are not my cup of tea. I watched the Disturbed, which I wish I hadn't. I think they suck, man.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean I don't like some Disturbed songs. I just think they suck as a band, like Mortal Souls. Yeah, it's just a little spooky-ooky for me. And I don't think a lot of people. I'm good with spooky.
It's the ookie.
It's the ookie. There's truth to that, because it's like some people do spooky really well.
Yeah.
Like I think Manson does spooky exceptionally.
Very well. I was terrified of him back in the day.
Yeah, like he gets it. He gets like the right balance of it all. Like,
well, no ookie.
And there's still soul in what he's doing, But then there's like spooky ooky, which is like, Disturbed is spooky ooky to me, and that sort of thing. Let's see, Iron Maiden or Judas Priest? I'm Judas Priest.
I would probably go Iron Maiden.
Yeah, split down the middle.
Pink Floyd or the Rolling Stones?
Rolling Stones.
Pink Floyd.
Floyd.
All right. Then he says, anyways, keep up the great work, stay prepared, and as always, I bid you peace, Matt H. Shout out to Matt H. So, the last one, the one that I skipped.
Is it is it Prince or
or who? Because that would be an interesting one potentially too. But it was DMX or Nas. I'm going to go last on this one.
I think I would go DMX.
okay? Again, what's the prime?
Yeah. So for me, prime is Illmatic versus It's Dark and Hell is Hot.
Okay.
And you could say Illmatic and it was written with It's Dark and Hell is Hot and Flesh of My Flesh.
It's tough. It's tough. It's really tough.
It's tough. First of all, God bless the dead. Rest in peace, DMX. The dog.
I think I have to say Nas, though it kind of hurts.
So I think Nas is the technical right answer.
Yeah.
I have to go DMX. And like, it's just because his music meant more to me.
Yeah.
So I'm like trying to take like, because like for me particularly, like what year was that?
DMX 98, Illmatic was 94.
So like 98 is like right when I'm like that's when I'm into that. So like
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah, so DMX to me, like I said, like I think he changed. Well, they both did. They both did.
I just like the headspace that DMX puts me in. That aggressive,
Yeah.
you know,
He is that for sure.
beat the shit out of somebody sound. Yeah, I like that.
You know, like the antics that he would do. So like, he had like a pit bull name. This one is tattooed on his back, Boomer, and he would rap all. He was a known thief, like a stick up guy, and he would have dogs, like his Boomer specifically would like back people into a corner and then he'd rob them blind. Like he'd do it without a gun all the time because his dog was just on it. And this dog, and when he was like trying to make a name for himself, like rapping around the city or whatever, there's like a famous one where him and Jay-Z battled in a pool hall that you can find footage of on YouTube, like before either one of them are really who they were. But you can't find X's performance. You can only find Hove's because the Rough Rider people were funny about him because his shit wasn't copyrighted or something, so they like didn't let it out. But he would have raps where the dog would be incorporated into the bars, you know, like he'd be like, see coming down the street, prowl on you, come up close. And then the dog would be like, growl on you. You know, like the dog would like be a part of the performance.
So it's a duo.
Yeah. But like, so Nas is the right answer because Nas, like, he really created what modern hip hop is, you know, and Illmatic is a masterpiece. That's like still kind of puzzled over, and his writing is so much more cerebral and everything else, and his ongoing impact, and like the Ring camera is like he got in on that. Like he's just like, you just never know with that dude. Like but I have to go X just because of how much those first two records meant to me. I was getting abandoned out of my house in 98, May of 98. My dad left June 1st. Like, you know, like it was like, man, the dog was talking to me, you know?
Yeah. I mean, and I love DMX.
Yeah.
So it's just like, I try to take the memories that I have of DMX at late 90s, early 2000s kind of.
So like, I think with music, and then I'm ready to move on. I think with music, I respond more to things that make me feel versus things that make me think. Mm-hmm. And I think Nas makes me think. To bring it back earlier, like Tool makes me think, but 9 Inch Nails makes me feel, and DMX makes me feel. And those are the things that I end up responding more to, you know. And now we'll just wait for Jordan to return from taking a piss.
Yeah.
he couldn't stand that Nas was brought up, I guess, and he fucking had it. He was like, "Look, we'll talk about Funky Wizard and the Blizzard Izzard, but we're not gonna fucking do all this Nas bullshit."
Maybe it was the Ookie.
Maybe it was the Ookie. So Jordan, thank you for filling in today. We were definitely in down two men, so to speak. That was ugly. And with that, shout out to Chris and Joe, both on assignment. Shout out to Dante on Facebook once again, who allegedly may have stolen some tires. And shout out to Marilyn Phil on our notes and on Twitter. And with that,
moist thighs,
wiggly nipples,
tight dick player.